as ready as ever. Hey guys, it's me, your girl, the Snommy, and I'm joined by Spooder Queen 69, hottest Spooder on the planet.
Oh no. Oh no. This is it. This is
Eris.
my downfall. I'm back to my Xbox Live name.
Xbox Live name Spooder Queen 69.
It was XX Spooder Queen 69XX, I'll have you know.
Actually, it was XX Spooder Queen 69XX. Fucking your mom, spelled with as many numbers as possible. XX.
Underscore, because the first two were taken, okay?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Hey, let's start. That's how we start every tea time. Hey, Kainei, what are you drinking and why is it coffee?
It's coffee, because if you're not drinking coffee in the morning, what?
I actually am joining Kainei today with the coffee.
I mean, let's be honest. I'm right.
Thank you for the follow, Yellowy. Yeah, XX Spooder Queen.
Yes. Happy International Asexual Day.
Someone, me, forgot to start one of her programs. Also me.
You know, that makes sense. I typically just leave all of that crap running so that if at any point during the middle of the night while I'm sleeping, if anybody wants to jump scare me, they could just redeem a text-to-speech.
Oh my god.
But I don't forget to turn it on in the morning.
Once again, Sammy is fucking around and not connecting to main OBS, so all the beautiful hat pet redeems and everything is not gonna work. I'm just gonna turn them off. This is gonna starting to annoy me right now. Ever since the last OBS update, I have to start Sammy first and then OBS, otherwise it will just flat out not work. And I'm not restarting the stream right now.
Yeah, I understand. I feel the same way. It's like, well, it's broken and I could fix it in 2 seconds by just doing it, but I don't want to do it.
Well, at least the rest will still work. There we go. Yeah, when I do my rebranding, I'm gonna change a lot of these things around and use different programs and stuff. I'm just not gonna redo everything shortly before a rebrand.
Kainei, sleeping. TTS. You left the toaster on.
Ah yes, the toaster, that magical instrument that doesn't shut up on doesn't shut itself off on its own.
I think it depends on the kind of toaster you have. I mean, I have a pop-up toaster, so obviously it does. But if you had like a toaster oven, some of those are just on switches.
I mean, at the end of the day, one day I will take this whole PC and just throw it at the wall.
You know, I had a PC like that. It's literally sitting against the wall over there. Not where I threw it, but I set it over there. I didn't want to damage my wall.
Just kind of picking up her PC. Yeet!
Fuck it!
And that's where she left it. On the ground. Splintered
It's
down. It's
empty.
Oh no, you came close and you got bigger.
Sorry. My bad. I turned to the left. Stage left.
Ugh. Kainei, I think you have to move yourself because since I was the last one to move my model, you're now getting slapped in the booba with my tail.
That's actually, yeah, it doesn't matter if I move. It's dependent
okay.
on it's dependent on if you have control of me or not.
Yeah,
if you have control, I'm yeah. If you have control, I'm.
I have to go into that menu every single time I want to do something.
Yep.
You forgot to press the start button on your laundry machine. I did that once. And I sat there for 2 hours waiting for the machine to tell me that it was done. So when I went to check on the timer after 2 hours...
You just had slightly soapy clothes sitting in a bucket?
Yeah.
Yay!
Hi, monkey. How you doing? Also, not even soapy clothes. It just looked the same as when I left it. I just didn't start it.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was a nice pile of clothes with a little bit of clothing perfume pearls on top. Yeah.
What have you been up to? We haven't like had a chance to sit down and talk for a while.
Yeah, I know, right? Fucking VTubers always need an excuse like a collab to talk to each other.
Right? Like, this is legitimately the most we've talked in, like, the last year?
Yeah, and I hate it.
We've just been busy.
Yeah. Trying to get diagnosed with no success. Which is great.
Yeah, that's fair.
Then I got... I mean, I don't want to say lots of therapy, but like I tried to get therapy lots of time, but I couldn't find any spots.
Yeah.
Because Germany is insane. Germany has huge issues with availability of therapy, especially long-time trauma therapy. And instead of investing into it, our insurances are like, no, that costs money, and so they just didn't.
Yeah. I'd say it's better over here for therapy specifically, but if it is, it's barely. Because usually you have to pay that crap out of pocket over here.
That's the positive thing. I don't have to pay shit for therapy once I find one.
Yeah. I've been going to therapy for like 2 years now, and I just recently got a psych who gave me some new anxiety meds, which is they're working so good. They're working so well. Yeah.
A big part is
next
obviously...
we're trying to get some of the crap on paper, but
a big part is obviously also the fact that in Germany, I'm looking for a very, very specific type of therapy in a very specific area with no car.
Yeah.
Like if I had a car
sure.
to drive to Munich twice a week, I would have a therapy in like a matter of days.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the same for like healthcare here. The closest for any of even my primary doctor is like a 45-minute drive away from me. So
my primary doctor is like, I think by air less than 2 kilometers away.
Fair.
With the bus, like 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how the buses go.
Yeah.
So that's very nice. It's very nice to live in a city in Germany for that case, because like our public transport is really nice. So I can always like just take the bus everywhere, except the therapy, because I can't find one.
Yeah.
It's even more frustrating because I had a therapy, but that doctor was, oh dear.
Yeah, that's fair. It's the only thing I'll ever say that Florida had right. Because everything else, obviously, they do not. But when I lived there, the one thing they did have right was they had city buses. And it's really nice to just be able to be a non-driver and to get around the city wherever you need to go.
Imagine not needing to be driven around. Couldn't be America.
No, I'm a passenger princess again. That's how it is.
Passenger princess?
Passenger princess, that's me.
Oh, passenger princess, yeah. Don't worry, Kainei, I know how to drive. I mean, I don't have a car, but I do know how to drive.
I mean, I know how to drive, and I don't have a license or a car, but, you know, you hold the wheel in a generally straight position while going down straightaways, and you stomp as hard as you can onto the far right pedal, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
That's how you drive.
I mean, in America, everybody drives in automatic, so it's not that hard. But over here, the manual is still the go-to.
I actually know how to drive a manual too.
Manuals are so much nicer to drive. I hate automatics so much.
So I like the automatics because there's no hassle. You don't have to think about it. You can kind of turn your brain off. I will say that's probably also dangerous, but also manuals are just better fuel economy, just immensely better fuel economy.
Yeah, I like using the clutch to slow down, you know? It's like just engaging the motor, going off the gas. The motor will naturally slow down the car.
I think my favorite part of an automatic is the cruise control. It'll just do whatever it needs to do, including shift, to keep the same speed for the rest of forever.
Now, see, that's not as good in Germany because A, the distances we drive aren't that wide, and B, we have put differing speeds everywhere. So you will go over the autobahn, and you will go from, you can drive as fast as you can to, well, now 120, now 80, now 120 again, now as fast as you can, 80, as fast as you can, 120, 100.
For us, it's typically you get on the highway and it's either 75 or 80, and then you just, if you're going 80 on the 75, nobody gives a fuck. So you just set the cruise control to 80 and drive for 45 minutes, which is interesting because I'm pretty sure in Europe, if you drive for 45 minutes, you've crossed 3 countries.
Nah,
and in America, you barely
that...
left your town.
It's not that small. Now, if you drive for 4 hours, then you might be in, like, France.
Okay, you drive for 4 hours here, you might leave the state.
Somebody called Kainei tweeted about me. Weird.
Right?
Never heard of them. But they look cute.
Well, that can't be, because I know Kainei, and... But...
I like
Philippines,
that,
if you drive
Kainei.
4 hours, you might be lucky to leave your city. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of...
In the Philippines, if you drive... I mean... If there was no traffic, okay. I feel like you have to drive a little bit faster than that. Yeah, I also heard that Kainei is a cute spooder who likes hugs.
That's not true. Who told you that? That's not true.
Yeah, your chat told me.
Fucking snitches.
You fucking snitches.
What they say,
Chat
man.
coming back home, Kainei coming back home to her chat, ripping the door open. Yeah, fucking wankers!
Snitches get stitches, bitches!
Pulls out knife. Oh boy, I need more coffee.
But yeah, it's International Asexual Day, and I like to remind people, I'm demisexual. Not a lot of people even know what that is, but it falls under the asexual flag, so happy Ace Day, everybody.
I'm... somewhat demi?
Yeah. It's technically under the asexual spectrum.
I'm just a big fat cuddle bug. I'm not interested in sex in general. I just want to hug people.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, there's demisexual, there's also demi-romantic. I tend to be both.
I don't know about demi-romantic. I'm definitely a romantic person.
I'm like a sapphic demi-romantic, right? It's easier for me to fall for people of the feminine persuasion. Not to say I haven't fallen for people who aren't, but typically it's easier. And then also, the closer of a friend you are, the more likely I am to have had a crush on you. Just assume.
Hi, Kainei.
Hi.
Well, for me, it's actually quite the opposite. I don't generally have hashtag crushes. And it takes a while to get me into a relationship, but it's definitely something I experience attraction and like something I aim to have more so than a sexual relationship. Like sex, if you get like older, and this is something that many people around their teenage years just don't want to believe, is that the older you get, the less important sex becomes. The more important having a partner actually becomes.
Yeah. Your priorities change a lot.
Yeah.
It's funny because they say somewhere around 21 to 25-ish, your frontal cortex and your brain fully develops, and it's like a changing point in your life. And I remember the day mine finished because I went, oh, shit. This is it. I'm an adult now. All of my priorities have just changed. Like, it was like night and day. If I think about, like, when I was 21, complete fucking idiot. If I think about when I was, like, 24, actually a responsible adult. It's so wild that just that short amount of time can change the entirety of it.
I believe that I was an adult and, like, working and smart when I was 18. And I thought I had it all figured out. And then... Yeah, then 6 years happened, and I looked back and I was like, Jesus Christ, girl, you had nothing figured out. And then another 6 years went, and I was like, Jesus Christ, you still didn't have it figured out. So I'm fully convinced that in another 6 years, I'm gonna look back and I'm like, well, you still didn't have shit figured out.
I can tell you, I feel like I finally actually have shit figured out, like in a way that I look at it and go, yeah, right.
What an
like,
amazing first message in this. Jesus Christ.
Damn. Well,
Corrix, get the handcuffs.
I mean, honestly, there are people you can pay for this. Probably shouldn't discuss where here, but you know, it's an available service. I'm sure you could find.
Yeah, just go on Craigslist and look for whores.
Oh my god. Go on Craigslist and look for your mom.
Hey!
Oh.
Something, your mom is such a whore, you have to book an hour with her so she finally talks to you.
Oh my god. Damn. Jeez. Hold on, I'll go get the burn ointment.
Sorry.
It's funny because it's my mom's birthday today and she's actually been out since before I woke up and I'm just like, this sounds familiar.
Oh no.
Nah, she's out having a nice birthday.
At work?
No, she took today off. She doesn't work as a whore.
I didn't say anything.
Your mother's a whore. And your father smells of elderberries.
Dein mother is ein whore. I think the funniest part is that my mom works for the Ministry of Finances. Which many people would call that being a whore.
A whore. Yeah. My mom works at a little mom and pop shop. She makes basically she makes lunch for everybody that shows up.
I already said one day I have to get my mom on stream here, but I don't think it's ever gonna happen.
Every once in a while, my mom will walk in while I'm streaming and say hi, but not very often. Though she does watch my streams only on Sunday, so you're safe today.
Nah, I want her to be on stream as a guest for like a tea time episode. But,
yeah,
you know, she's like, oh,
it's
my English isn't that good, and then I'm looking at her like, mother, we've been talking English purely for the last 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was easier with my sister.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had my sister on stream. I don't know if you saw it, but she's very adorable.
I did see that you did. I didn't actually get to catch the stream.
Aww.
How did you do the camera thing?
Oh, I just had a Fugi for her and just aimed the camera at me.
Gotcha.
Actually, I think I can bring the Fugi up. Where did I put it? Well, not a Fugi. I had a pick crew for her. This was the Snack Sister pick crew. Corix thinks my sister is lovely because she's the only one not bullying him.
Aww.
So the cute part is that this actually looks very close to what my sister looks like IRL.
Well, your sister looks very pretty.
She is. My sister is adorable.
I'm sure you're very pretty.
We need to stop this conversation because everybody is gonna call me a siscon again.
Again?
Yeah.
Why did they have reason to call you it the first time?
Because I was gushing about my sister and how smart she is and how much I adore her.
Aww.
But look, I basically partly raised her, so of course I'm proud of her achievements and stuff.
Mommy? I mean, what? Sorry.
Anyway. Mommy? Sorry? Mommy? Sorry.
Yeah. And that's how this tea time ends. Why is it always mommy sorry and not mommy please?
Well, because if you say mommy please to me, I'm gonna start strangling you. But yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
I'm getting new glasses on Monday. Well, not on Monday,
I just
but
got new glasses.
Huh?
I just got new glasses.
I'm gonna go to get my eyes measured on Monday and pick out a new... What's the thing? Form? Shape?
Frames?
I wonder if
Lenses?
I can just give them my my old
They'll want to
frames
retake
for
it.
my... so I always get...
Oh, yeah.
I always get like normal glasses and then sunglasses as well, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
you could totally give them the frames.
Yeah, I wonder if I can just give them the frames for my sunglasses and get them made again, because I really use them a lot and they feel really good.
Yeah, you totally can. In fact, they prefer it if you do, because the expensive part is the frames. The lenses are
No.
basically pennies.
I got my glasses from Fielmann, which is like a German thing, and they have this Null Tarif where they give you the frames for free, and you only pay for as long as you take like plastic glasses, as long as you don't have any sort of special grinding on it, you get the entire glass for free. They make money by you paying them. I think it's a €50. You pay like a €20 on-sign bonus, and then you pay another €2 per year for a sort of insurance for your glasses. So if they break, they will replace them. And if you do not use up your insurance in those 2 years that it runs, and you go and get your next pair from them, they will give you a €50 bonus to the next glasses you buy.
Fair
So
enough.
I've been using it
Yeah,
for a while. So I'm still gonna have to pay a lot because I have a special grinding in my lenses.
yeah.
Because I have a Prisma. Like
Fair.
it's called a Prisma. It's like internal
I know what
cross
it is,
eyes.
yeah.
Yeah. So
I
have
have
to
an
pay, like,
astigmatism
100
in one
bucks.
eye, and
Oh,
I'm
that's fun.
nearsighted in the other. So I have like wildly different prescription per eye. It's strange. But I also didn't have glasses for like 20 years. And then I
Oh,
went in
no.
and got them, and then I put them on and I was like, why did everyone let me walk around this blind? I was a danger to myself and to everyone who was within a 20-foot radius of me.
Did you not realize that everything was blurry?
So since it had been so long, I had just gotten used to seeing that way. So, like, not really.
Did you never look
Like
at
it-
like a movie and there was a scene where a character was seeing everything blurry and they put on their glasses and everything was clear? And didn't that send you like a message of maybe I should get glasses?
Not really, because when the things were blurry on the screen, they were more blurry for me. So I was just like, yeah, okay, that's fine. That's whatever. The point I realized that maybe I should get glasses was I was talking about getting my license, because, you know, America. And I couldn't see the road signs until they were literally next to the car, and went, that's probably not normal. Yeah. So on my right eye, when I went to take the eye exam, I literally could not read the biggest number on the thing. Like, they were like, can you see anything on here? And I was like, I can see a gray blob. They're like, well, that's not good.
Yeah, I'm surprised Kainei is alive as well. I'm surprised it didn't like get run over by a car until you got
I don't have my license, so I don't drive, and I didn't drive without my glasses, so everyone be calm. I wasn't endangering myself or everyone else in a car just by existing near them, and I don't know, I've cooked. People have trusted me with knives. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, why would people trust you with knives?
Even with glasses, really.
Yeah, I mean, you have 4 arms. That's 4 times the amount of cutting you can do.
I mean, what?
I know you would never stab me. Mostly because my abdomen is too hard for you to get through.
You could grind meat off that.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah.
Hi, Kainei.
Iris. Kind.
Iris?
What?
I'm not Iris. I'm Eris. Not
Everything's
for much
fine.
longer though. Did I actually send you an update on how how it went? Because I have some progress images.
No.
Let me see if I can quickly fetch them for you. I'm not gonna put them on screen, obviously, because secrets, but I can show Kainei some secret progress, you know?
I can.
Let me see. There's one. Just copy this and send it
Tea is
to.
nice. That's a shame I'm drinking coffee because tea is inferior.
Do you mean tea is inferior? Do we need to have a moment, Kainei?
I'm part of the country that had the Boston Tea Party. Don't start. Aww. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, Kraka is doing the Lord's work, isn't she?
Is that who's doing that?
Yeah, Kraka Kovidea is doing my model.
I didn't know they could model.
She's great.
Oh, now I know who to approach.
Yeah.
That is really good. I like that a lot. Chat, you're missing out. I don't know how to tell you this, but like, it sucks to be you. You can't see that. If you want to see that, all you have to do is start streaming, build a community, get well known, get trusted, become friends with Eris, and then join her on Teatime.
You're like, just become a really good friend with me and join me on Teatime, and then I will show you how my model looks. If you manage to do all of that and in time before my re-debut.
Yeah, it's not that hard. Just do it, forehead.
Yeah, just become a good friend. Just drop like a $2,000 donation and be Gucci.
Oh, you know what? That is a really quick way to become a really good friend. Thank you, best friend, for the $2,000.
Honestly, the easiest way to become my friend is just to come here and give me food. Honestly, just give me food.
You feel like you accidentally gave Kraka lots of work?
Yeah, because Korix got his model first from Karaka. He got like Femrex as a model. And then I was like, yeah, I can use this to my advantage.
I mean, accidentally lots of work is typically a good thing.
I mean, at the end of the day, Kraka got work. She's getting paid for it. I'm gonna be honest, she lets me underpay her, but she's using it for her portfolio, so you know.
I mean, I don't mind if people use the artwork I commission of them on their portfolio. Shrug. Typically, when I commission artwork from somebody, model or otherwise, I'll give them the details I want, and then they'll be like, "Hey, can I do?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, worst case scenario, make it a toggle, but like artistic freedom, go make it a toggle, like." So for instance, it's not a toggle, but I can turn them off if I go into my model and edit it a little bit. But the flowers in my hair, that was not part of my design originally. That was something that the artist just like showed me a sketch of, and I was like, yes, do that thing. I love artistic freedom. So
fucking good.
I love the artistic freedom aspect of like commissioning an artist that you know that is good, because like they'll make decisions that I never would have thought of and make it better. This hairstyle, actually, the one I'm using right now, also was a toggle that they were like, hey, do you want short hair or long hair? And I was like, well, I wanted long hair, but you showed me the short hair. Can I have both?
Yeah, it looks so fucking good. I thought about getting a different hairstyle toggle, but then I looked at like the work Sai was putting into this hairstyle, and I was like, yeah, maybe don't torture him with more hair. Because like, drawing this amount of hair with this amount of detail was a sight to behold, and many curses were spoken over the span of 4 entire streams just for the hair.
I'm gonna be honest, the hardest part I think for my artist was this bit right here.
Oh my!
For whatever reason, that ended up being the hard part.
Yeah, I can see that, especially getting it rigged too.
Yeah, they couldn't quite figure out how they wanted to have the hair move, whether it was a part or a curtain. They ended up just going with a sliding curtain, which is fine. I don't mind.
Hi, Helocard. Eris hates most of my toggles. I hate most of your toggles because they take your fucking shirt off.
Oh.
Seek fluid intake.
Hi. Time for fluid intake.
Fluid intake? I can tell you the only fluid I have available is the coffee, so...
Oh no, Kainei has to hydrate with coffee. Whatever shall she do?
Survive. That's what I'm gonna do. I will survive.
Oh no. You can take your shirt off too? No, I can take the low. I can basically pull up the lower part of my toga. Which none of this was intended. It was just I saw that Sai had drawn the muscles underneath, and I was like, you know what? Can you just make that into a toggle? And he was like, yeah, fuck it. It's not gonna look good, but I can. So that toggle wasn't there to begin with, and it was not planned, which is why it looks so stunted.
I think a bunch of the features that you end up going, that could work, are the ones that are honestly the most iconic.
I still think my most iconic toggle is this one.
If you're gonna make sushi, you need a knife.
Yeah, this is not for sushi, it's for shoving it where the sun doth shine. Yeah, I'm a snake. I'm a snake. Another one that cost Sai way too much time was this one.
That's fair.
Which I barely never use because I'm not that horny. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's funny. So there's one emotion. Thank you, Super Lesbian, for gifting me a sub. There's one emotion that my model does not have. Can you guess what it is?
I'm sorry. Thank you, Legendary Super Lesbian, for the gift.
They're actually that's a regular from my chat. Hi, Super Lesbian.
Beautiful. Oh no.
It's so good. There's one emotion. That's fair. There's one emotion my model doesn't have. Can you guess which one it is?
A tongue.
Okay, well, that's not an emotion. But no, I don't have. Well, I do have a tongue. I just can't stick it out. Yeah, I can't cry.
I can.
I have no tears. I have no cry. I barely have a sad face. I have to really contort my face to get the model to even look disgruntled.
Oh, no chance. My face has two modes according to VTube Studio. I either have the resting bitch face of doom.
Okay, so
or I frown all the time. I had to force the smile in VTube Studio, so I made everything else a toggle.
Yeah, so for me, hilariously, I do have anger, but it's a toggle, right? Because I also had to force the smile.
Yeah.
Because I have resting bitch face. If I don't, my brows sit just low enough that it causes the rest of the face to just look like I'm super angry. So I just adjusted it all to be slightly smiley, because I'm not angry unless I push this button. And then I'm just like, you motherfucker. But usually when I'm angry, I forget to push the angry button. So,
that's a good question. If Kainei did cry, would the tears fall from all the eyes?
Yes.
Seek fluid intake.
Not again, stop trying to drown me. Okay, let me take a sip.
Drink the water.
Then I guess I'm just gonna stretch really quick. Oh, my back. Oh, I was shrimping so hard.
I do it all the time.
Sippy stretchy, the shrimpy. Oh no, I'm being screamed at.
Appease the demands of the prison of flesh.
Protect me, Kainei.
I can't do that.
I tried.
I'm a bottom.
I mean, yeah. Something power about bottom.
But
what else I have? Oh, I have the blush.
yeah, I've got.
Which is really cute, by the way.
I've got. The closest thing I have to like shock is my eyeballs get a little bit smaller, but I use it for a lot of things. So, and then I've got blush, and then I've got hard eyes, but I almost never use this one.
This is actually also hard eyes. I just find it very hard to focus.
I've also got normal Kainei.
Uncanny Valley, honestly, Uncanny Valley.
Hi, I'm Kainei. I like to do my taxes and eat macaroni and cheese with American cheese. I
Nobody
drive a
believes
sedan in the carpool lane.
Nobody believes you.
No, I know. It is very uncanny valley though when those eyes turn white. So many of my viewers are like, no,
Yeah,
don't do that.
it's weird. It's so weird when they turn white.
And then I've got the long hair toggle and the angry toggle and the dejected toggle.
I have one toggle I barely use.
I have 2 more toggles, but I don't know how comfortable you are with one of them. There's no like nudity necessarily, but it basically puts me in my onesie leotard.
Yeah, that's fine.
I got this one, which is it's kind of cute.
I was hoping for it to be more Zephyr, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, look, you can see my navel. Well, chat kind of can.
You know what I meant. Anyway.
And the other one, I can't quite show you here because I'm sitting down, but it removes the coat part of my my long coat so that you can see my skirt better.
Yeah. I don't know. I am sad to leave this model behind on one hand, but I really am looking forward to like changing my entire content up and getting a lot of the old baggage off that is linked to this model and this persona.
That's fair. I think honestly, for me, when I can afford to get another model, I'm just gonna double down on what I am because I've not had too many problems with it, and I like where I go. I will say, there's this weird sort of. It's not. I guess it might be jealousy where like when I see bigger VTubers show up, like I forget her name, but there's a new VShojo one who's a cockroach and she's a she's a
Matara?
bug. Yes, and I'm like, that's super cool, and I like it a lot, but I'm kind of upset because Bug. I was Bug. I'm the Bug. God damn it, I'm the Bug.
Kainei, don't worry, I can assure you, Matara was not the first one to also be a bug VTuber.
No, I know. There was also Juniper.
I mean, there was the moths, then there was like at least 2 more spiders I know of. There was some cockroach. There was
yeah, but I was the micro celebrity Bug.
Even Honey. Well, even Honey is a B-tuber, which is also
I know.
a bug.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah, but I don't know. It was just. It's one of those things, right? When I see that, I'm like, I'm very happy for them. Honestly,
Yeah.
I truly am. But also, God damn it.
For me, it's a bit annoying to see the bigger indie VTubers have a new model every 2-3
that one
months.
is really. It's so hard to like. I don't have that kind of money. Are you
I
fucking
don't
kidding me?
have any money at all. Like, and if I was making enough money to live off of streaming, I would have even less money for streaming because then I would have to live off of it, you know.
So I use my money for living off of, but I live with my mom. We don't live like, you know, I don't just live in the house like I'm her kid. We share the bills and stuff, right? But like, without her, I wouldn't be able to do it at all.
Nah. For me,
But I definitely don't
I'm
have
glad
model
that
money.
the German government is paying for most of my bills, and I can do this here on a level that is mostly comparable to hobby level, because like with my amount of viewers, I'm not gonna live off of this.
Yeah.
But, like, I just really wish I had the money to invest in and like get a good microphone and get like actual recording equipment so I can do the things I actually want to do.
For sure. Yeah. I don't know. I think about it and I'm like, it's been a little less than 3 years and I've been on this same model. And then we don't talk about Iron Mouse's models because it's literally a new one every other day with her, which honestly, whenever it comes to Iron Mouse, I just say good for her. She definitely deserves it. She put in the work.
She put so much work and she deserves it so much.
She definitely did. But then even if you go one step down and look at all of her like her co-stars, right? All of her I don't know, siblings? I don't know what you call them when you're in the same
Teammates?
Sure, yeah, that. Even they have a new model like every month. And it's like, God, I fucking wish I had $3,000 to blow every month.
I mean,
like,
if you make $1 million off of Twitch each year, then I think you can afford to.
I can't. I've never been in that kind of situation where I could say all of my things are taken care of and I have thousands of dollars extra every month to just do things. Never.
I would just
I have no idea what that would feel like.
I would love to have the ability to buy an iPhone, set up like iPhone tracking for my stuff, get a model
agree.
that's actually made for iPhone tracking, get really good sound recording, get like the whole home studio going that I would need for the type of content I want to make, and then just start pumping out cover after cover with full motion tracking dance videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. I do have an iPhone, but I have no way to actually use it as a camera. I would need to set up my PC again.
I feel the same. There's a lot of things that I would use just straight up extra money to just improve the stream, right? Improve my model, maybe get a new one because it's been a while.
So
and
much.
Like, there was a lot of concessions I made with this model when I got it because initially my chat paid for a model, but it was like early on in VTubing. And artists weren't super comfortable doing crap they weren't comfortable doing. So the fact that I have extra arms, just one set of extra arms, was a concession. I wanted the full 8 limbs.
Didn't we get our models around the same time?
Kind of, yeah. I got mine through an agency who has since gone through like a whole redo and like they redo how they do everything. So like even the artist that I got this model from isn't in that agency anymore. So I can't contact them because my artist only speaks Chinese and I don't. And so like I do have a link to go find them,
hey, Uta,
but it's on
thank
like
you for the follow.
it's on like Puri Puri or whatever the fuck that website's called. And I can't make an account there to like even try to translate and contact them because it's a Chinese only website. So I'm just like, this model basically is now dead ended. There's nothing I can do with it. They sent me the locked model, not the unlocked model, so I can't even have an artist touch it up. And yeah, so like I can't do anything with this beyond like adding props and like adjusting it in smaller ways or the very few assets that are loaded as raw files, I can go in and touch those up. But like the rigging is locked.
I mean, at the end of the day, I wouldn't be able to do any of that anyways, because like I lack the technical know-how.
See, I'm just autistic enough and stubborn enough to go and figure it out. But again, since the rigging is locked, changing assets is only cosmetic, and I can do most of that within VTube Studio anyway, because they have all of the things to like change colors and stuff just built in.
God, I know the feeling. I'm just...
Yeah.
I think my main issue is that with finances and funds for that kind of stuff, you can do so much more. Like the type of content you can do is so dependent on the amount of funding you have.
Sometimes, yeah.
Because like if you don't have any budget, you're basically stuck with gaming content.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, you could do some art content, right? But like,
yeah,
depending on the art, it's dependent on your equipment for that art, right? You can only draw well if you have good drawing equipment. You can only sing well if you have good audio equipment.
Yeah, I think like with art, it's easier. You can still make good art just by, let's say, taking a webcam, pointing it at a piece of paper, and starting to draw.
For sure. For sure.
Obviously, you can make better art content if you put more money into it, but for stuff like music, especially if you have a shitty mic like I do, you can just forget about making music content. Like I listen to the streams where I play guitar and sing, and it's not horrid, but I wouldn't want to listen to that for 2 hours.
I'm gonna be honest. Your microphone isn't that bad, but there's a little bit of background hiss. But there are a lot of programs.
I have my fan running right now.
Yeah. That's fine. I mean, I hear it, but I don't think Stream does. I think it's because Discord, right? But you could absolutely filter that through an audio program and make it, you know, you could do it.
It falls apart the moment you have an instrument that actually makes a lot of background noise, like a guitar.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because you hear the clicking of the strings.
No, it's not just that. The guitar just sounds hollow and echoey and...
Gotcha.
And really bad.
So... I think the way that you would have to combat that right? Is you record the tracks individually and then put them on top.
No, even then, this is a cardioid microphone. It's just not made to record guitars. So I would need something that is specifically made to record instruments, especially acoustic guitars are hard to record. Because it's
Fair
so
enough.
many notes at once. Because a guitar, there's 6 strings, and if you hit all of them, that's 6 frequencies the microphone has to pick up, including also, like as you said, the clicking of the plectrum, the moving of the strings. It's all many frequencies layered over each other. And for a microphone like this one, it just goes to become an echoey mess. Because it just doesn't have the bandwidth and the frequency.
That's fair, yeah. Hi, Uta. You wish you could get your
Uta.
brain to work well enough to rebuild my model?
Yeah. Also, I don't know
You've
how
done
you
so
were
much.
following me already. How dare you?
Twitch might have removed the follow. It just does that sometimes.
Twitch had to remove
But,
quite a lot of follows from my channel because I had this one dude come in and like bombard me with follows from a ton of bots that just spelled out some transphobic message. And it was so ridiculously cute because I just turned my alert box off.
Yeah.
And muted my bot in chat, and he just kept going for 25 minutes straight, and nobody saw any of it.
Yeah, no, I've done that a while ago. I just turned off follower alerts, and I made all of my initial redeems over 300 points. Because what would happen is I'd get transphobic shitheads showing up, and then they'd follow, so that, the transphobic remark would show up. So I turned that off, and then they couldn't talk because it had to be a verified account. I've got the first layer of protection, so they can't just talk. But you can redeem that way, so they'd redeem like my pride emote, which was like 20 points, just so that their name would show up in chat. And it's like, okay, well now that's 301 points. Now what are you gonna do? Now you literally have no power here. Thank you for the money. I'm gonna go run an ad when you try to bot me.
I don't
You
know.
just
it's
paid me.
Yeah, I just thought it was so cute with his bot account because my man like legitimately sat down and sent me like an entire manifesto of transphobia, and nobody saw a single sentence of it. So
Yeah.
Twitch had to remove like 200 followers. I wonder if they
I think
did
the
or
worst
they-
one I ever had was like a year ago when those really bad hate raids were happening. I ended up with a bot raid of like 2,000.
Jesus.
Back when I was, I think I had at the time 4,000 followers. And I was trying, I wasn't quite there. Like I was just about 4,000, and I was like, hey, we're almost there. Let's push for it. And I started doing streams and stuff, and then like 2,000 bots followed, and I'm just like,
there goes the fun. I know, I don't even think that like follower numbers don't matter at all. Like I have 1,900 followers on the dot. None of those convert to viewer numbers.
they really don't. But I mean, it's still something that you can use to like celebrate with your community when you reach a milestone. Even if the other 1,850 people aren't going to show up, at least you have a reason to make your chat feel special.
Man,
That's
imagine if I had 50 viewers. Nah, I'm
On a special
happy
event,
with
you
the
get
10
up there.
people I get, honestly.
I've seen you up there with special events and stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I guess.
I have slow as hell days too. In fact, my morning from 9 o'clock to like 11 my time is
Hi,
really
Dana.
really slow. I usually have like 20 people at most, and it's not until the afternoon starts to pick up for me that I actually start getting up to the better numbers.
I saw someone get 137,800 bot follows once. Jesus.
I can tell you at 2,000, my OBS and browser froze for like a solid 15 seconds so that all those numbers pop at the same time. I cannot imagine 137,000. Oh my god. I think it would just probably crash, like legitimately crash my computer, which is weird because I've got 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM. You figure it would be able to parse through that a little bit, but
That might be a
It's a lot of
CPU issue, honestly.
my CPU is pretty good too. I mean, this was also, I think now that I think about it, that was also when I had my old computer that is now sitting against a wall. That wasn't a very good CPU.
I
think
kinda
this
need
would
to
probably be
update my PC. Or like get a new PC in general. Like
The
there's
story
so
of my
many,
computer is
so many
sketchy.
things I need to do.
My computer got funded by my chat because my old computer started to die. Like I was playing like NES games on my computer because it was the only thing it could do
Oh
anymore.
god, I saw that. When you were streaming like old school games and stuff like that, because
I was streaming like Mario 3 because I physically could not play anything else.
I mean, Mario 3 was still cool.
Oh yeah, no, it's a great game. I got plenty of retro games to play that are cool if I really want to. I think I also played through the entirety of Zelda 1, which I do not recommend. That game fucking sucks. Anyway, moving on.
If only Nintendo wasn't Nintendo.
Right?
Oh god damn it, I just got a lawsuit.
God damn it, you mentioned their
name. I said the name Nintendo.
You said the name. That's almost as bad as getting a lawsuit from Disney. Fuck!
Yeah. At least there's one person who will never sue us. Because he's too dumb to fill out a lawyer form. Fuck you, Elon Musk! Suck these nuts!
I mean, it was either them or Trump, because he also just got his bail bond rejected for not filling out the paperwork correctly.
Oh my god, the whole Donald Trump legal trouble show is the most entertaining spectacle of the last 10 years to me. Imagine being so dumb. You get found liable for rape and for... What's that word?
Perjury?
Nah, the
Fraud?
one where he said mean things about Eugene Carroll.
Oh,
The
slander, libel,
something with D.
defamation.
Yes, defamation. Imagine being
won't
found
keep
liable
our name
for
out of
rape
his mouth.
and defamation and getting fined $8 million and then going out and immediately doing it again and getting fined almost $100 million and then going out and doing it again.
You figure he would shut the fuck up. I don't think he's capable.
At that point, I was like, okay, maybe he has the money. Maybe he's right. Maybe $100 million isn't that much for him. Maybe he can afford it. And then came the second judgment and the third judgment. It's like, oh yeah, he really doesn't have any money.
Yeah. You want to hear... we'll get off the Trump train here in a second because I don't super like talking about him, but do you want to hear something that is like, oh my god,
Hit me.
I think he might actually be the Christian Antichrist. I'm not Christian, but he might be the Christian Antichrist. He released his own version of the Bible.
Oh yeah, with like the American... It's not even his...
No.
I have to correct you there. It's not his Bible. So that Bible was able to be bought for like a few years already. The other dude, that guy that wrote this song called "God Bless the USA."
Okay, he added a testament. In the middle of the Old and the New Testament, he added a page.
I don't think that's right because I looked into the USA Bible thing, right? So it was made by this singer, who wrote God Bless the USA, whatever his name was. And he has been selling these for 3 years already. And as far as I understood it, it's just a normal Bible, plus
the Constitution,
the Bill of the Declaration of Independence, and the song text to his song, and the national anthem.
Yeah.
So that's all that's supposed to be in there. If he really added another chapter, that would be insane. Because I've read nothing about that anyway.
I haven't read it because I'm not going to buy it. But like,
as much as I dislike Trump, he didn't write that Bible, and he isn't even selling it. He just endorsed it. Like, I don't like him either.
The crazy
but let's
part
not lie
right
about
before
him.
that. The crazy part right before that was he was standing outside of a convention trying to hawk shoes.
Yeah, it's even better.
Like, how bad do you have to be off to be a billionaire standing on the street corner selling shoes?
The prime minister who's that
reminds me
outlaws the Liz tried to pass. Oh god, you mean Liz Truss, killer of the Queen?
It's kind of insane, but yeah, he failed his bail bonds and because he filled out the paperwork wrong. It's funny because it was supposed to be a documentation of his financial whatever the hell, but it's the same report that he was on trial for to begin with that he has to fill out with the bail bonds. And I'm just like, you're going to trust him to fill out that form after he literally got found guilty and is trying to appeal that? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Anyway. We can move on from that one.
I just love the amount of L's right-wingers are taking all over the world in like the last year.
Yeah, I can tell you though, as a as a very LGBT person in America, it is fucking terrifying to sit here and go.
Yeah, it is. It's also
This is
terrifying for
my
everybody else.
place.
Don't forget that American politics are like the blueprint for what everybody else copies.
Why?
Because we're
the
all
youngest
stupid.
country. We're the youngest country. We should not be the ones setting the
Yes.
example.
Technically, the American democracy, or like America as a state in its current form, exists for longer than most other countries. Like if you think about it directly, Germany as the Bundesrepublik Deutschland as it is right now, only started existing around 1950.
Well, yeah, but like, you were still Germany. You were just a, like you were
Not
still that
necessarily.
country.
Even if you look back, even Italy wasn't a unified Italian country until like the 1890s. Before that, Italy was a ton of little small local governments that were never unified before. So people
We're at the point
people
of-
underestimate, yes, as a white country, America is pretty young. But
As a
as a
superpower.
functioning or a somewhat functioning government, America is one of the oldest, which is scary as shit.
That is terrifying.
Mhm.
But then again, before their fall, Rome was also really good.
Are you trying to charm me by blessing Rome?
No, I'm trying to hope for the
Because
same
it's
fate.
working.
Fluid intake.
No,
Seek
I
fluid
was gonna say I'm
intake,
trying to.
drink some water.
No,
What do
I
you
was
mean,
trying
no?
to. I said no. I was trying to hope for the same fate of America as Rome.
You want gladiatorial combat for entertainment?
Somebody went to my chat and redeemed a hydration check. Are you fucking kidding me?
I see the bubble on your head. Oh no.
Fuck off! Who the Tilly?
Tilly,
Fine.
bless you. Absolutely
Fine.
bless you.
I drank the damn water. Jesus Christ.
Absolutely bless you, Tilly.
God damn it. It's funny, see, they'll do the posture check in my channel. I'd be like, there, I checked it, it's poor. Yeah, I didn't say correct it, I just said check it. Fuck.
Hi, Geister.
Hi, Geister.
Geister? Geister?
I've asked so many times on how to pronounce their
I'm
name.
reading that as a German, and for me that spells Geister.
and they tell me, I don't know.
I'm reading that
I'm just
fully
like, okay.
German. IE in or IE in Germany is E, so it's a Geister.
Yeah, so like I've heard more people pronounce it Geister than Geister. I've just always pronounced it Geister, so that's what I say it, and they don't seem to care. So.
Geister means ghost ghosts in German. So
Thanks for the head pats, by the way. Yeah. By the way, Eris will deny this up and down, but the word for toilet in German is Puppenfarten.
Actually, it's Toilette.
Yeah, no, it's Puppenfarten. It's a really guarded German secret. They don't want you to know, but it's Puppenfarten.
Unless, of course, we're speaking of Bavarian, because then the Bavarian word is Scheißhäusl. Which translates to the house we shit in.
Puppenfarten. I think there's a couple words in German that I'm like, this is hilarious and I love it. I think one of them is the word for gloves, which I think is Handschuhe.
Yeah, Handschuhe.
I
mean,
fucking love
makes sense.
handshoes.
It's shoes for your hands.
I fucking love handshoes so much. Just like, come on.
Handschuhe.
You can redeem stuff on my
German
channel, but
is
if you
great.
do anything with sound, it's not gonna come through. So
German is great because we have so many composite words that are just two other words put together, right? So we have stuff like Leichenwagen, which is the German word for hearse, which literally translates the car for a corpse. So it's corpse wagon, basically, which coincidentally is a metal band. Yay.
Fair. Yeah, all right.
Or plane. What do you think plane directly translates to in German?
Air car?
Nope, worse. It's
Oh,
called
God.
Flugzeug, which translates to fly thing.
Fly thing?
It's that thing that flies.
There's so many words like that are just glorious in German.
It's beautiful.
I think
What else we
my
have?
probably my favorite part of German is you can say something completely mundane, maybe even sweet, but depending on if you're not trying to sound sweet, just saying it in a normal voice, it sounds like you're very, very angry to everyone else.
That's absolutely not true.
That is true because you have so many hard consonants. Honestly, that's the only reason. It's because
how
it's such
is
a punchy language.
How is everybody giving German so much shit for having hard consonants, and fucking Finnish over here is putting 70 Ks in a 71 letter word, and it's somehow everybody's like, oh yeah, Suomi is fine.
Yeah, but like here, we don't talk about Finnish because nobody understands what the fuck they're talking about. Hi, Liha's Finnish.
Fuck you, Liha. Come over and fuck me yourself, you coward.
Oh fuck. Perkele.
I'm just saying, you can't really shit on German for being a harsh language while Suomi exists like 200 kilometers to the north. That's just not okay.
That's fair. Somebody tattooed me.
I don't even know why mine are black.
I don't know. Mine are white.
No,
Why do they gotta be
mine
black?
should
Thanks
be
for the
white
head
too.
pats.
Mine should
Mine
be white
wiggle.
too, now that I think about it.
Mine wiggle and twitch.
Nya, nya, nya. I'm a little kitty snake.
Thank you for the hydration check. Stop making me drink water.
We're two idiots. That's what we are. Snake. Oh
Spider cat
god.
does
Oh.
whatever a spider can. Snake.
Something, something. Hey, Kainei, could you do the Ubu magic?
The ooh what?
The Ubu magic copy pasta.
Oh no, I can't do that.
This is peak podcast.
No, I can't do that. Sorry.
What do you mean you can't do it?
I can't. I physically can't do it. I'm allergic to cringe.
What do you mean you can't do rar uvu xti uvu meow uvu meow uvu neko uvu chanti uvu uvu kawaii. Listen, Kainei, I have no self-control and no cringe inhibitors.
Send help.
The fuck you mean there's nothing wrong with lentoconisse turbini motoria mecanico alioperiopilas. Okay. I think I butchered that.
Oh yeah, you probably did, especially if it's Finnish, because none of the letters sound like the letters they should sound like in Finnish.
Doctor, turn off my cringe inhibitors. Oh, that's no issue. Finnish is pronounced the same as German. So it's really easy.
You got it quite close, actually. Oh, there you go.
I tried my best.
So to pronounce Finnish, I just have to try to do Okay, that's interesting. There's a lot of I kind of understand a little because they're both Latin based, right? I can kind of understand German.
No,
sometimes.
actually, while German is a Latin-based language, the pronunciation of our consonants is a Nordic. So they're both Nordic-based. German is a
Well, I
weird
can
mix because we had like influence from the north, obviously, and then we got invaded by Rome.
That's fair. Well, I can understand German. I can't understand a fucking thing of Finnish. Finnish is basically bottom smash on the keyboard.
Yeah, Preopia. See, that only works if you pronounce it the way you pronounce it, because for an American, the way it is written is something entirely different than for a German. One thing I will never get over is the fact that the German E is pronounced E, and the German I is pronounced E. So learning
You said
English...
the same thing twice.
No. So the letter E, American E, right, is pronounced E in German.
No, like
E.
E.
E. Yeah, like that basically.
So
And
basically, you're
the
making
letter
the noise
I-
like
the
I don't really like that.
The letter I is pronounced E.
E.
So you're
E
sitting
and
there
E.
and you're telling me that's not E, that's E.
E.
Learning English as like a student was horrible because of the way we pronounce vowels. H-E-J-K-L-M-N-O-P. Oh god. Yeah, the German alphabet sounds fucking weird.
You know, it's funny. You say English is the worst language, but if you actually look up which language is the most efficient, it's English.
I don't think English is the most efficient.
It's the most efficient.
No, English is an easy or reasonably easy language to learn. It is not as expressive as German. There's a reason why German is called the language of thinkers and poets. And it was the premier language for music for most of its existence, so...
What's it like to be wrong?
English is responsible for it? What does Kainei think of the goods? Kainei does like the goods. Do you want to see the goods again?
I was waiting.
Actually, guys, she isn't here out of her free will. She's just here to look at my apps.
There was an arrangement.
The arrangement is that I have to strip every 20 minutes or she leaves.
You could grind meat off that.
I could grind
It's me, I'm meat.
Hi, Kiri! Look at that, that's Kiri. She's adorable.
We went to the same joke.
Yeah. Thank you for the sub! 23 months, Kiri! It's almost 2 years at this point. You really should find new friends. Your old ones suck. Me, I suck.
You thought Liha was meat? Well, Liha means meat.
I could grind Liha.
Okay, well, you gotta say that like it's a German word.
Hmm?
You gotta say that like it's a German word.
Grind?
No, Liha.
Liha? Yeah,
Yeah.
Liha.
Oh.
Just Liha.
Pro-
We would pronounce it
probably
Liha. Liha
it's not.
564. Actually, it would be 60, but because I'm Bavarian and we're weird, we're pronouncing the G at the end of a number as because we're dumb. So we go like 50 instead of 50. And everybody in Bavaria, in Germany is like,
Why?
why are you doing
Why
this?
would you do this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're like, eh.
I don't know. We just think it's cool. It doesn't sound cool. Yeah,
How does
that's
the
what I can
anatomy
do.
of abs actually work? What causes the muscular structure?
Because it's hot.
No, it's... I should know this because I'm a trained nurse. So, the abs mostly exist because you have lateral movement in the torso, right? So you can move to the left, to the right. Your abs work into that. Your abs also pull together to make you bend over forward. That's what your abs do. So your abs are responsible for curling up, moving your torso to the left and to the right while keeping your hips stable.
I'm more interested in why they make that shape specifically and why it isn't just one big muscle.
That's because one big muscle couldn't provide the range of movement that you want out of your torso, right? Like I said,
Fair
it's
enough.
not just curling them into yourself, it's also to the left, to the right. And then also
Fair.
the ability, one big muscle is harder to stretch against, so it would be way harder to sit up straight if your abs were one singular muscle. Because like if you lean back basically, right? And you curl your back backwards, you stretch your abs. If it was one singular muscle, it would be way harder to do that.
Yeah, fair.
Would the snake tail be abs all the way down? Well, no. Actually, the snake tail is spine all the way down.
Yeah.
So the snake tail is
Yeah,
actually
just
another
ribcage.
secondary rib cage.
Yeah. It's also hot.
One
Don't
big
judge me.
muscle would make a ball that gets in the way of your organs. Yeah, that's also a thing.
I don't need organs. What?
It's very rare to have a big singular muscle that is also flat.
That sounds
Like, if you
fake news.
if you just look at your arm, right? And you move it, you realize that there's 3 major muscles in the triceps, and all of them are basically ball-shaped.
Yeah.
God
Balls.
damn it, Kainei. Also redundancy, yeah.
P is stored in the
The
arms.
tail can turn and fold inward. Well, wouldn't you like to know, Sherlock? One big muscle is a much bigger point of failure than several smaller, more efficient ones. Yes, also. It also puts the strain on multiple smaller muscles instead of one big one, which makes them get tired way later.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, now that I'm thinking about multiple small ones, here's a fun fact. Sai drew every single leaf in my garland by hand, and they are all separate leaves that can move separately. And they do in the rigging.
I see that. Oh my. Why?
Because Sai needs help.
I can tell. Yeah, no, I would have drawn one and then copy pasted it.
I mean, yeah, he did copy paste them, but he rigged them.
He had to rig them individually.
Each leaf is individually rigged.
Fuck that. I mean, I get it. It looks really good. It's one of those small details you would never notice if you didn't look, but... I've also got a lot of small details, like... the one that I think I like the most is, you see my jawline, like right where my chin is? If I look up and to the left or right, that line disappears for the shadow.
I noticed
and it just
that
looks so fucking
good.
smooth.
I didn't
It's
get
so
that.
smooth.
Sai asked me if I wanted it, and I said no because I prefer it if it's just a continuous line. I just like that art style more. But it's so well done on your end. I've seen
Yeah,
it.
no,
I've seen
artist
it
that did
done
mine is-
in a less well done way than yours, and it looked really off.
Yeah, you gotta do it right, because, like, this one fades away as I look more and more. So, like, it just looks like an anime, right? But, like, if you do it wrong, it just looks, I don't know, almost sloppy.
Oh, I have another one that's absolutely insane. Each and every segment of the braid is also its own thing that had to be rigged individually, because Sai went full overboard with the braid.
Yeah, that's fair.
And something that most
I mean,
people
your
can see.
hair is a pretty important centerpiece, I feel.
Yeah.
Honestly, the human part of your model is the least centerpiece part, which is the part in the middle, and it's weird. Because you got the big old snake tail, which is, you know, let's be honest.
I love the way the snake tail moves. It's so well done. Just in general. Like, we both have really good models.
I can show you the, there we go. Now I can show this now.
Mini's good.
The only thing I don't like about my model, and it's because it was so early on in rigging and VTubing, my feet slide. I don't have steppies. But it was before steppies were, like, even invented for VTubers. So, you know.
You forgot Kainei
forgot I have
has stockings. Don't worry, nobody will ever forget that Kainei has stockings. It's because she's cute. Ugh, what am I doing? Oh.
That is too big.
Anyway, where were we? We were talking.
That's a good question.
There we go. Yeah, we both have really good artists. Big Kainei
sure.
indeed.
I would do my zoom button and take over the entire stream. But I
what?
don't want to have to Huh? But I don't want to recenter. Too late. Wait! Nah!
Fight me, Kainei, fight me.
Okay. Don't forget the thighs out of the top of the stockings. Yeah.
Yeah, the absolute territory.
The absolute territory. That's the important. That's the important.
Anyway, can I lick it?
I have to ask my girlfriend.
That is fair. Can I platonically lick it? What a name in
I'd
Japan.
have to clear it with my girlfriend.
Isn't it like Seta Ryokin? Something like that?
Girls, please fight in the ball pit. No,
Seta
prefer to-
Ryoki.
I prefer to fight in the spaghetti pool.
Absolute territory refers to the area of bare skin in the gap between over-knee socks and a skirt or shorts. It can also
Sorry,
be used to describe the clothing combination.
At a moment.
Okay. Is there anything Eris is allowed to lick? Yeah, I'm allowed to lick Kainei's ice cream.
My ice cream? No!
It's too late, I've licked it all.
It was cookie dough.
That's bad because I very easily get salmonella infections.
Okay, well, we have
Well-
cookie dough that does not have eggs in it, so it is safe to
Right, that's like the weirdest thing when I went to America. The fact that you have raw cookie dough specifically made to be eaten like that. My mind
Yeah.
was blown, and I was
It's
like,
good!
yeah, it was good, but then I read the ingredients and I was like, why is there so much stuff in it that doesn't belong in cookie dough?
It's
Why
because we don't
does
have eggs in it.
Why does it need a million stabilizers and like
Why is there oil, like so much oil in here? Yeah.
and why does it so many conservation ingredients? Like, huh?
Yep.
Don't fight the
Because it's
danger
got all the
noodle on her own
ingredients.
territory. It's a trap? Nah, it's not a trap. It's a dinner.
Can you bake that cookie dough, though? No. No, if you do, it just turns into a puddle in the bottom of the pan and then gets hard and crusty and gross.
Spaghetti pool? You can't fight Eris in the spaghetti pool. You lose track of which noodle you're fighting. God damn it!
Well, I could figure it out pretty quick. She's the only noodle that bites.
That's actually not true. I'm the only noodle that's strangled.
That's not true. I could
I'm
get
not
strangled by a
poisonous.
rig.
I'm also
I don't
not
think
venomous.
I don't think a spaghetti is poisonous or venomous either.
Guess you haven't eaten German spaghetti yet. Those are quite poisonous.
You know what? I've had what Americans call German potato salad, and I doubt it's actually German.
It's weird. I was like, why?
Why is there Italian dressing on potatoes and then you call it German? What?
Yeah, it's weird. Also, German potato salad is fucking gross. I'm
there
gonna go
mayonnaise in
even
it?
one further. Putting mayo on potato salad is fucking gross in general. I don't like potato mayo salad. I don't like mayo potato salad. In Bavaria, we make the potato salad with broth, vinegar, and oil. And it's the fucking best thing ever.
I prefer to have my potatoes not vinegared.
Is it a euphemism or do you just not like vinegar?
I like vinegar. I love pickles. I like pickled sausages, pickled eggs, you know, that
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Bavarian potato salad has pickles in it, onions, lots of black pepper, a little bit of fried up speck, like bacon bits basically.
Oh.
And then we put in a dressing made from sugar, salt, mostly beef broth or whatever broth you have at home, and a little bit of white vinegar. And some sunflower oil. Don't worry, Kainei, I will drink with you.
I'm out of drink. Guess I'm drinking coffee.
Oh dear, we're getting raided by Dre. Hi Dre! Hi Dre's
Hi,
viewers,
Dre.
how y'all doing? Didn't know about the broth? It's not a ton of broth. Bon! Bonnie's here! Oh my god, let me tell you about Bon. Bon is like the most adorable person in existence. They are so cute. I had them on
Aw.
tea time and I melted inside.
Aww. Sounds really nice.
Bon is so, and their art, you have to look at Bon's art. Let me just send you their Twitter accounts. You can take a look, because their art is amazing.
Fair enough.
Bon, which of your many accounts is your actual account?
There was a coffee ground in my coffee, and it was stuck in my mouth.
Was it Gremlin Bon on Twitter? Here, I'm just gonna send you their side account, I think it is. Gremlin Bon. I'm gonna send you this one first, because that's where she... Okay. That's where they post their loot art. And then let me look for Gremlin Bon.
Aww. Aww.
I know, right? Their art is so amazing.
Also, Final Fantasy XIV in general? Hell yeah.
Oh god, all you Final Fantasy XIV nerds need to be stopped.
No, we don't. I haven't played in a long, long time, but
Good.
like, it's still a mood.
Let me put this one in chat, and then I'm just gonna do the shout out for Dre, because Corix can't be trusted.
So. Gotcha.
You're about to do the post ARR quest? Hey, don't worry. Only like another 4 streams and you're finally out of the horrible part of the story, so you can get into the absolute mid part of the story.
Final Fantasy XIV haters need to be stopped.
Look, I am willing to give Final Fantasy XIV credit where it's due. I do believe that Final Fantasy XIV has the best fucking group content in any game, period. Never seen an MMO with group content that well done. But anybody who sits down and seriously thinks that Final Fantasy XIV has the best MMO story ever needs to go outside, touch some grass, maybe read a book or two, and realize that the entire story is the most mediocre garbage. It's non-consequential mediocre, and it's not offensively bad, don't get me wrong. It's just mid, it's fine, it's okay. But it's not amazing.
So which one has the best story, Eris?
For an MMO?
If you say World of Warcraft, you're disowned.
I don't want to say World of Warcraft, but their story writing is quite decent.
I've disowned you.
Look, no, Guild Wars 1 story was also suffering, and Guild Wars 1 is barely an MMO. I do like Guild Wars 2 story after the core game. Just like Final Fantasy, the core game shouldn't exist.
The problem I have with Guild Wars 2 is the events that were like the world events that like were part of the story that you had to experience in the time to be able to get the proper experience for them.
They did away with that after one season, and they repackaged the first season into being replayable.
Yeah, but you can't replay it the way that it was originally meant, which means it falls off.
Yes, and it's as I said, they basically redid the entirety of the Living World Season 1 in a way that you can replay it. Yes, it's not as immediate as it was, but they realized that it was something people didn't like, that they couldn't replay it, and they changed their way on that very, very early in development. That hasn't been a thing for 10 years, so, you know...
I haven't played Guild Wars 2 in a long time. I will say when I did play it, I was
The thing is, Guild Wars 2 today is literally not the same game it was when it released.
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely know that.
It plays so differently. They changed the way builds work, they changed the way skills work, they changed the entire boon system. The only thing that is literally the same as release Guild Wars 2 is the way you auto-attack. Everything else has literally been changed.
Yeah, fair. You know, I did know that. I have a couple of friends who play it, and
I will, however, sit here and if you start Guild Wars 2 today and you play the core story, the gods have mercy on your poor soul, because the Guild Wars 2's core story is offensively bad. It's so garbage.
From what I remember of it, it's literally walk to this NPC, talk to this NPC,
it's worse.
Walk to that NPC,
No.
talk to that NPC,
Don't get it wrong. No, Kainei, we cannot understate. It's let us introduce an NPC. You will never meet this NPC again.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Or, alternative 2, let me introduce you to an NPC. They will die 5 minutes later. You are supposed to be sad about this.
There is also the hidden third one that happens at least once, and this is this NPC. You will be talking to this NPC every 5 minutes. No matter where we send you, you will be coming back and talking to this person over and over again. Oh, now you'll never hear from them again.
Actually, I don't know what you mean, Super Lesson, because Heart of Thorns is some of the most beloved content in the game still. Like, yeah, some of the maps are a bit hard to traverse, and they got better with that, but Heart of Thorns introduced the meta events, which defined the game for the next 20 years to come.
Please return to the Waking Sands. No,
Oh,
pray
God, yeah.
return to the Waking Sands.
Pray thee, return to the Waking Sands.
Yeah, no, everyone who
I'm
plays
just
Final
gonna
Fantasy
say,
has
the
PTSD
one
about
reason,
that.
like, I played everything of Final Fantasy up until the end of the last expansion that came out, which was, I think, Endwalker?
Endwalkers? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I played everything until the end of Endwalkers. I didn't do the post-Endwalkers in-between content.
I didn't either.
So, I played the entire story. Even the parts that weren't horrible, like there is a part in the Final Fantasy XIV story which I very much enjoyed. Obviously, it's Shadowbringers. Shadowbringers was fucking brilliant.
I fucking love it. So I haven't played. I own, but I haven't played the latest expansion almost at all. Endwalkers, I think.
Yeah,
But I did get
it's
all the way
exhausting.
through. Like I got partway through it, but the reason I stopped wasn't because I wasn't having fun. It was because I was also raiding at the time while trying to stream, and the people in the raid were getting kind of, they were getting pushy. They wanted to do content, and I had a job, and they didn't like that. So I got burned out trying to keep up with both things. But I will say, my opinion of Final Fantasy is it starts out story-wise garbage. It is the worst story I've ever played.
Which
But
one?
every
Guild Wars or
time
Final
you
Fantasy?
every time you start a new expansion, a new content set, it gets exponentially better than the previous one. So
I actually
for
disagree.
Heaven's Ward, it's good, but it's not, it's not great. Exponentially good from garbage isn't great. But then you go to the next one.
I massively disagree here because I think
Most people
Heaven's Ward is mid, but it's still better than Stormblood.
Oh, well, I don't agree with that. So my problem with Heaven's Ward entirely is that like 70% of that was just politics with the Dragon War. And I'm just like, I have the same problem with Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm super excited about the game, but the entire first like hour and a half to 2 hours was just politics, and I avoided doing it.
I'm not gonna go on a rant about Dragon's Dogma 2, but don't worry, the story means nothing. Nothing you do in the first 80% of the story amounts to anything. It is never mentioned again, and nothing of it matters. So you can just flat out ignore the story and just do what the quests tell you to do.
Oh, I mean, I beat Dragon's Dogma 2. I got...
God, the story is so awful.
I got the true ending of that one. I like it. I like the story after the politics are done.
I got halfway through the true ending part, and I killed the first zombie weirdo Drake. I killed the second zombie weirdo Drake, and then I was just so done with the game. I just realized that it's such a huge letdown and such a huge step down from Dragon's Dogma 1, and I was so insulted, and I uninstalled the game and I haven't touched it since.
That's fair. I really liked it. I don't think it's as good as the Everfall was. I think the Everfall was peak Dragon's Dogma. I think Bitter Black Isle was really fucking good continuation content for the people who really like that game. And I think the end game of Dragon's Dogma 2, while it isn't as good, in my opinion, as Dragon's Dogma 1's Everfall, I think it's still alright. I had a lot more fun
Dragon's Dogma
in
2
the
doesn't
proper...
have an endgame, that's the problem. It doesn't
It
have
does.
It doesn't
It does,
have
but
infinitely repeatable endgame content.
It does. It just doesn't tell you where it starts. There's a point where, the weird zombie dragons, you kill those, and then a final area opens up, and a final beacon basically opens up. If you stop there and don't go to that beacon, time has now paused. You can go around and run around that area infinitely. But they don't tell you that, which is a problem.
But even then, you're just in the same world again.
You are, but it's harder. There's new places to explore. All of the areas that were covered in water you couldn't go. You can go explore those. I don't know. I liked it.
It's just... It doesn't change the fact that you have less skills available. You can equip less skills. You have less skills available. The hybrid vocations suddenly only have one weapon available instead of two, just so Warfarer can be a thing. The enemy variety is absolutely gutted in comparison. The story is like half a story and just fucking stops. Like, you literally go from, hey, we arrived in Bakbatal, and now we're fighting this one dude. And then suddenly it's like, oh yeah, the dragon comes in and goes like, well, looks like we got a Dragon's Dogma in it, mate. He just comes out
I don't know,
of
I think
nowhere. There's like no reason for the dragon to be there, but you can like tell they went, oh shit, we ran out of development time, gotta finish the story here. And the dragon comes down and literally goes, well, looks like we have to dragon's dogma. And he literally says the words, we have to follow the dragon's dogma. And I'm like, you're the dragon!
I don't know. I think it was a good. It wasn't as good as 1 for sure, but I had fun with it.
Dragon's Dogma 2 is so offensively bad. Like none of it matters. And the partner, here's the thing that really offends me. Somebody in Capcom has leaked the entirety of what the DLC looks like and how it was developed.
Oh, I haven't.
And what they apparently did was they developed the entire DLC that is happening, that's gonna happen, and they developed it simultaneously to the main game. And they more or less said that they cut the main story in half because they decided to put it into the DLC. And I hate that. And they said like there's gonna be like 36 different new monsters in the DLC, 12 new bosses, another amount of story content that's basically the same amount of time as the base story, and I'm just sitting here like, why are you selling us half-finished games?
Okay, well the base story took. If you just beeline the base story of Dragon's Dogma 2, you will finish that in probably 5 hours.
Yeah. I mean, I put like almost 50 hours into Dragon's Dogma.
Oh yeah, I have like 70 hours in it. The thing is, one of my mods put it, Liha, put it really, really well. The story is mid as hell, but it's mostly there as a tool to get you to explore the world in between the story quests. And it's not there to give you the good story, it's there to make you go find your own story, which
I wouldn't even
it's kind of lazy, but at the same time, I really do enjoy just exploring that world. I spent so much time to run around just
Technically, I would agree with you. And I wouldn't be offended by the story just being so abysmally bad if the exploration amounted to anything. But the problem is that huge parts of the game look samey, feel samey, have the same enemies in them, and there is no enemy variety. There is nothing to explore. That is the huge problem. No matter where you go, it's the same.
I think
Exploration that doesn't pay off is worthless. Hi, Elden Ring.
I mean, it feels like it. I don't know. It's not as bad as Elden Ring, right? Elden Ring literally had 2-room dungeons that they considered legacy dungeons. It's like, this isn't a dungeon. This is
the legacy dungeons was the main story path. So it was like the castle, the Raya Lucaria, then the main city, followed by.
Those are okay then. The open world dungeons then. It's like, oh, this is a dungeon. No, this is a boss room. That's what this is.
Parts of the mountaintop of the giants were technically a legacy dungeon, and the entirety of the floating isle Far Masula thing was a legacy dungeon.
Fair enough.
So the actual dungeons were actually really offensive with having exactly 3 tile sets for dungeons. It's like,
yeah.
Hey,
it really
have
bugged
170 dungeons in the game, and they use one of 3 tile sets.
Yeah, it's like, no, you don't have 170 dungeons. You have 170 boss rooms.
The one I really hated is the one that looks like a mine, the mine tile set.
Yeah,
there is
every time
one singular mine shaft that they have reused in every single mine in the game, and you can every single mine go around the left and just fall down instead of using the elevator. Every single time. It's so offensively lazy, and the fact that Elden Ring got Game of the Year is such an insult when it came out at the same time as a insanely good product like Guild Wars 2's End of Dragons. And I will forever be insulted that Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons didn't get Game of the Year instead. I
think the actual, like, the main path of Elden Ring was as good as a Dark Souls game, right? Which is fine. Yeah. I think the open world was there just to say it was open world, which I liked running around the open world. I didn't like the dungeon so much. I liked the open world. But I feel like it was literally just there so that they could put that tag on there and be like, it's an open world Dark Souls, just like you always wanted. And then all those people that always wanted that
I just will let
buy
people
it
know.
for that reason.
Elden Ring, with how lovelessly thrown together the open world was, got Game of the Year in 2022 over contenders like God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, A Plague Tale Requiem, and Stray of all games. And the fact
Stray
that
was pretty
Elden
good.
Ring won Game of the Year with how fucking haphazardly thrown together it was is such an insult. And the fact that the gaming world cheered for that.
The Game Awards have always been kind of a
Yeah.
sellout anyway, but I will say Baldur's Gate definitely deserved that when it got it.
Oh yeah, I mean, Baldur's Gate was a labor of love.
My favorite part about Baldur's Gate winning Game of the Year, because we all knew it should have and it did, was all of the people who were like, "But what about Spider-Man?" It wasn't as good. If you don't want your game to win Game of the Year, make a better game. That's it.
I think the interesting thing is that even the Spider-Man devs were like, yeah, Baldur's Gate deserves Game of the Year.
So many Spider-Man fanboys and girls and
Like,
others
I'm
were
just
just
saying,
like freaking out about it.
If you're such a big fan of a game and you realize that even the devs of that game say, no, the other game is better, maybe just ease off the gas a little bit.
Right? It kind of reminds me of a lot of like Helldivers 2 when it first came out. Even the CEO of that company was like, "Hey, we're experiencing problems, and if that's not something you want to try to work with us, just don't get the game yet. Just don't buy it. We'll fix it, and then you can buy it and play it and have fun. But right now, we're just having troubles, and we don't think it's worth it. So you should probably just wait unless you really, really want to." And I'm just like, that's the realest fucking move. What CEO would look at customers and be like, "Don't give me your money yet"? Only ones that give a shit.
I gotta give them credit where credit's due. I am full disclosure, haven't played Helldivers 2.
It's
Haven't
good.
been able to afford it so far.
Yeah, it's fair.
That's literally the main issue. I just don't have the money.
Yeah, I get it.
Helldivers, the devs put so much effort into their community building. It's insane.
I think they could
How
use a
much?
community manager because there's
Yeah.
a couple of them that are a little outspoken in a way they shouldn't be, but like,
I'm just thinking, like, looking at how, for example, they saw how people got like attached to Malevolent Creek, and how they did like this whole PR campaign around Malevolent Creek, ending in giving the community a free cape. Not like, oh hey, we released the cape and the cash so that you can buy. No, they gave them a cool cape to memorize the liberation of Malevolent Creek for free in the game. Like,
so there's
how
like
fucking amazing is that?
two things I want to go over real quick. The premium currency in that game, you can find it in game for free. 100% of the things in the cash shop you can earn in game for free, without having to trade with other people or anything like that. It's you go and occasionally when you find loot, it's just premium store
Did you
credits.
just roast Warframe?
Yes, I did. And then also the story for Helldivers 2, and even the story for Helldivers 1, has always been based around what the community is doing in the game. And you can fail the objectives they're giving you, and depending on how you win, you fail, how people are behaving around things, the community's involvement with it, that's how they write their story. They literally have a adapting story that is not pre-ripped. Yeah, well, they do have a dungeon master. His name is Joel, and he's
Fucking
an asshole.
Joel.
Anyway, but I like the fact that they don't have a pre-written story. They have steps. Like the next step is go take this planet, and if they do this, if they don't, that, and then after that happens, then they write the next step, and they write the story based around the achievement and the reaction of the community. And it's so good.
I love how the game develops with how the players do. Because like I've watched Corex play, and like suddenly there's like fucking AT-ATs, which is like,
oh yeah,
how fucking cool is that? Like,
yeah,
yes, legally distinct AT-ATs, but they are still fucking AT-ATs. That's so cool.
Yep. They got ATSTs and now also AT-ATs. Yeah, it's so good. I love the fact that they're also stealth releasing patches. When the flying bugs showed up, even the CEO was like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about. That must be sympathizers trying to spread misinformation." When literally we had videos of people with the flying bugs in the game, and they were trying to like play it off like, "No, that didn't work. That doesn't exist." And it's just really fun how they play with the community like that.
I think they're having way too much fun with it, but also I love the way that you can tell that they are a studio that doesn't go money first. They are doing what Baldur's Gate 3 did. They sat down and they are trying to make the best game possible.
Arrowhead, when they released Helldivers 2, and people were like, this is weird. You released a full complete game in a cash shop that I can buy with all of in-game stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the devs was like, you have to earn the right to monetize. And it's like, god damn, the burn.
I
The
think
burn!
The main thing is that I really, really love that the gaming community is gravitating more towards showing big executives that a fun game comes first. Because all those games that were made to be fun first and then monetization, secondary, maybe tertiary, like Baldur's Gate, like Helldivers 2, are just smashing every other game out of the water right now.
I very much appreciate the way indie devs and even like, you know,
mid-indie devs,
AAA indie devs, you know, like the AAA indie devs, right? Like they're not quite a corporation, but they're still big. They're still big in, like, okay, I think is the way they call themselves.
That's mid-sized studios. You know, like Larian is a mid-sized studio. Arrowhead.
I think Larian and Arrowhead call themselves I because it's indie, right?
Yeah, but they have more money than indie games.
Yeah, so, like, I think those, and even the smaller ones, like Lethal Company, Content Warning recently, things like that, are also, I love seeing these. It's just smash AAA games out of the park, because it's proving to companies like EA and Activision that, like, you can go ahead and spend billions of dollars on a game, but if you're trying only to make a game so that you can throw a cash up in there and milk people, they're going to go play something like Helldivers or Baldur's Gate, because we know that that's a complete game and they care about us, right? How many content patches has Larian released for Baldur's Gate that is just
6.
like, yeah, this is free. We're not going to do a DLC, but we're going to make sure you have everything you want out of this before we walk away from it.
6.
With post-game stuff.
They did 6
good.
patches over the course of a year. I think
And they're not done.
big part is, I think it's an interesting way to see the dichotomy between gamers making games and developers being forced by executives to make games that the executives think gamers want. Because you have like Helldivers 2, this is a game, it costs around $40. You can play it for like 2 years straight. The game is developing, you get a ton of free content every fucking week. And then on the other side you have, hi, we're EA. This is our Black Flag ripoff game, what was it called? Skull and Bones. It costs $80 and plays like shit.
It's a quadruple A game! that just means I'm definitely not going to buy it.
Yeah.
That's what that means. The more A's you put on this, the less likely I am to buy it. The last time I got burned, and it was because I was a fangirl, and I knew better, and I did it anyway, was Diablo 4. I knew better. I knew better when I bought it.
Kainei.
But I needed to. I tried.
So
I purchased it and I refunded it. Don't blame me. It's because they have gender locked classes and I can't do it. It's dysphoria. I wanted to play a wizard. Sorry, it's literally the reason.
So once
I also haven't played Red Dead for the same reason.
They do have plans to gender unlock the classes though.
When they do, I'll buy it. Because it's absolutely a game I want to play. It looks so fucking fun, but I wanted to make like a laser beam disintegration wizard, and then I clicked it, and it was like some old guy, and I'm like, okay, nope, moving on. Sorry, can't do it. Can't bring myself to it.
If that is a deal breaker for you, that's absolutely fair. It's just that they really tried first to make the game into a playable state, and then do all the
I definitely understand. I think that, like, it's the same reason I haven't been able to play The Witcher 3. I know how good that game is. I can't fucking do it.
I actually didn't like The Witcher 3, and I'm gonna get roasted for this.
Red Dead Redemption 2 also has an amazing story. The Rockstar is questionable, but the story of Red Dead 2 was really good, and I can't play it because I can't run around as Arthur.
I can actually top your dislike for a dumb reason with another dislike with a dumber reason. I dislike Witcher 3 because there was too much content. Like, Witcher 3 fucked me up so hard, because I tried to play the game, right? And I went through it, and I played for 20 hours, and I was like, yeah, I should get pretty close to the end of the game.
No.
And I realized, no, all of this was a side quest. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, no,
so
The Witcher 3
how
will
much
take the rest
time
of your
can I
life.
spend in The Witcher 3? And then I looked up that the main story alone was like around 60 hours. And I
Yes.
was like, at that point, I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, this is just too much. And
So,
you
like,
played-
I think it's a harken back to, like, old RPGs, right? Final Fantasy VII, the thing came on 3 discs. There's, like, 70 hours of content in that game.
yeah.
Just on the story, because that's all that game is story. And that's kind of like what The Witcher 3, and I think even Red Dead 2 is like, it takes a long-form story, tells a full story, a well-written story, but it takes you a long time to get through it. And I think when I was a kid, I definitely had the patience to do that. I did it with many of them. Now that I'm an adult, combined with the fact that a lot of them are just like male protagonist, I'm like, I don't want to do that. Is just I don't have the time or attention span or enough coffee to sit here for 60 hours on a story.
Coffee. Do you want to go and get yourself another cup?
Yeah, I'm probably okay.
You're okay? Okay.
I'm probably okay.
I'm gonna take a 5-minute break when the next ad rolls around, though, because I need to get to the toilet.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm also on spironolactone.
Goddamn gallbladder.
Goddamn girl bladder.
Which actually reminds me, I haven't taken my HOT yet today. Thank you for reminding me.
Meds reminder. Also,
Med
once
reminder,
again,
take your fucking meds, you bitches.
Yeah, bitches. Also, happy Asexuality Day, International Asexuality Day. So I'm demisexual, and it falls under that umbrella. And I just like to remind everyone that we exist. And hi, yes, I'm going to use Eris's platform to promote my own gay agenda.
I thought it was asexual, not agender.
Gay agenda, not agender. Oh.
Anyway,
I'm slow.
ingest the anti-cyst. I read incest, and I'm very sorry for that.
Incest. The
Incest, the
anti-cyst.
anti-histamines. The titty
What is
skittles,
wrong with
the antibiotics. We could spend 7 hours since we only bought a game once or twice a year. Yeah, it's also... A big difference is that games had replayability back in the day.
It's one of those things that I always yell about, and everyone's like, okay, Grandma, go take your meds, is things like DLC or costumes. That was shit that you unlocked back in the day by beating the game once, and they gave you a code to put in at the title screen, or like something like that, where it's like, oh, hey, you beat the game in a special way, and then you unlock the special area that has a little bit more content, or now you can play the game, but as a blue version of that character, that kind of thing. And now they're like, you could do that for $5.99. Yeah, exactly. It's like now you can do that for $5.99, like the Star World and Super Mario World. That would have been a DLC today.
I'm a bit split on that, because on one hand, I do like the customization that DLC made into an everyday thing, right? Like, DLC brought us huge rafts of customization options, and that is something that's fun and that's cool. Instead of having 3 unlockable costumes, you now have 25 you can buy. I do, however, wish that they didn't market it so aggressively. The commercialization of gaming has regrettably pulled a lot of fun out of the hobby.
So, like, here's the thing. If you're gonna give me a game and it's a good game, cool, I'm gonna play it. And then you're gonna try to market me a costume for $5, I'm gonna go to Nexus Mods and download the same costume but slightly altered so that it's not copyright infringement, and just get it for free, because I'm not paying you $5 for a color change.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with extra levels.
I'm very torn.
I like that they're offering the options. I don't like that they're selling them. They're like, it goes back to just give me the fucking game, the completed game. All of the content of the game that you had ready on launch goes with the game. You don't piecemeal it. You don't rip it in half. You don't... Gearbox is the worst about this, where they will develop the game and have like 3 DLCs rapid fire ready to release right after they launch their game. It's like,
Yeah,
so
but they
basically
will
you're
only
telling me this
release
game is
them
not completed.
staggered. Yeah, that's exactly what Dragon's Dogma 2 did. They make like an entire game and then rip half of it out and sell it to you as DLC nowadays, and that is something
When's
I
the
just
DLC
don't
coming
like.
When's the DLC for Dragon's Dogma 2 going to be released? Because I'm not sure it's completed. I think they ripped some of it out.
Apparently
but
around November.
Okay, so it's got some left. But yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I don't like it either. I didn't know Dragon's Dogma 2 did it, to be honest. But like, I definitely don't like that, and it's something that I blame Bethesda for, Horse Armor. Then like Shivering Isles and all that shit. Like they're the ones that started this whole mess in a really mainstream way. The person who invented Horse Armor, honestly, I hope they've stubbed their toe and gotten a splinter every day.
Yeah, that's my Kainei palette swap.
Where is your Kainei palette swap? You have a Kainei palette swap?
I don't know, I want one.
Well, you'd have to change like 3 things.
Can't we just go into like where are the filters? Visual
You
effects,
can go to the filters.
activate, select an effect. Yeah. Can I just go into color grading here? And then I
Probably.
just turn the effect on and I shift the hue. There we go. I'm now Eris pink version. Let's see what else curse shit I can. Oh. I
You're
will
also color shifting me, which is very.
Oh yeah, let's get Kainei in. I like blue. Blue name?
Blue don't look bad.
Blue da ba dee da ba die da ba dee da ba die.
Since I'm gonna be abnormal, I might as well be abnormal.
I hate it, thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm going to come over to your house and eat all of your cottage cheese out of the container.
It's not easy being green. Let's turn this off. What else do
That
we
is
have? Backlight and outline. No. Analog glitch. What's that even supposed to mean? Scan
VHS.
light. Ah!
Made me look like a generic anime girl. It kind of did.
Kinda, I think we're disconnecting.
Are we?
We're getting very jittery.
No. No, don't worry about that. I just,
White sclera Kainei is neurotypical. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Out of all the things you could have said.
Hi! I'm neurotypical.
Hey Kainei, so how does it feel not to be suffering from depression and executive dysfunction?
And autism? Yeah. I have no special interests at all. I absolutely understand everything you're saying, including the emotion behind it, without you having to explain it prior.
So if I flirted with you now, you would completely understand my intentions from the get-go?
Oh my, Eris, I don't know how to answer this. No, I'm still a bottom. I'm still a bottom. Go away, our demon! Yeah, Leah really doesn't like it when I white Solero.
Yeah, it does look Uncanny Valley-esque, especially if you're like used to your normal look.
Yeah.
It looks so out of place. It's the same with Bon. Bon made a version of their model, so they drew their own model, right? As like a squid kid. And then they made a version of an unsquidded Bon model, and it was so Uncanny Valley. It's like this doesn't look bad per se. Just my brain goes, no, wrong.
Yeah. I think the reason is because the things that make a model or a face in general their face is the imperfections, the things that aren't quite normal, right? But when you unblack my Solera, I just become completely fucking normal looking, which is not. It doesn't look right because now there are no imperfections.
I mean, Kainei, everything about you is perfect.
I know. Listen, I do create the fabric of reality with my spider webs. And that's why I call them my silky milkies. Okay. See, now we've come full circle to the thumbnail.
Let me just pull it up really quickly. Please stop. You're scaring me.
Yeah.
Have I ever
It's a really
mentioned that
good
we're
thumbnail.
idiots?
We are idiots. Most of my like entertainment value knowledge and how to structure a show comes from shows that I watched when I was a kid in the 90s. So like it's like the title has to be like a Chekhov's gun, right? You gotta if you say it, it's gotta come around. It's gotta come around eventually.
It reminds me of the way I do D&D campaigns.
Right?
Like, I don't use Chekhov's gun. I am more like use Chekhov's trebuchet. Or like Chekhov's entire artillery unit.
No, I do the same thing. The first quest that the party goes on, in some way, massively, basically tells them the entire plot of the big bad evil guy if they had only paid attention.
But it's even worse. I will show my players something that's incredibly horrible for everyone involved.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
Then the game's like, nah, there's no way she would actually do it, and then I do it.
Yeah, for sure. I think my favorite one is my big bad evil guy literally leveled a town as the party was trying to go to it. So as they crested the hill to see the town in the distance, all they saw was basically a nuclear explosion and then a crater, and they're just like, oh.
Yep, that is literally like I had my players go to a diplomatic ball at the High Elf territory, and the High Elf leader was like, oh, it's so nice to see you, but regrettably we're not interested in diplomatics anymore. Anyway, would you please look to the right? And they all look out the window and just see a fucking magical nuke go off and nuke the entire area of one race, eradicating an entire race from the planet.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you're the bad guys. Oh, I get it now. Yeah.
I just love that there
doing
has
shit like
been
that.
so far in 13 years 5 sessions after which my players asked me if I needed professional help and if they can help me.
If you're not DMing to your strengths.
Kainei, let's take a quick break. Because it's starting an ad soon. And I need to go to the toilet really badly.
Okay.
There we go, over here.
Okay, yeah.
Why is there no sound source here? Gah.
Good.
Give me a second. You know what I'm just gonna do? I'm just really gonna grab it from the other scene. There we go. Look at me being smart.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, I'm here. I'm not gonna show you Kainei's unmoving corpse, but and I'm also not gonna unmute her so you guys can't hear her. Oh, I see her coming back. You ready for me to unmute you? There we go. Kai return.
Yeah.
Return,
I had to check my messages and things like that as well.
Mm.
My
Yeah, I
partner
like I love the concept of a Chekhov's gun.
Yeah, I agree.
And I hate it extremely when games build something up and then never use it.
That's the whole thing, right? The entire point of Chekhov's gun is why bother introducing a thing if the thing isn't going to get used?
Yeah.
A lot of games do it to like subvert expectation, but that's not always a good thing.
ArenaNet had a phase around Living World Season 3 where they did that with everything. Like, everything had to subvert expectations. And it got really boring. Because if everything subverts expectations, nothing matters anymore.
Yeah, exactly. If the rules that you're... one of my... I think it's because I'm autistic, but one of my most hated tropes in writing is the unreliable narrator.
Oh,
Don't get me wrong, it has a place. I think, however, if the narrator is the main storyteller of the thing, and the narrator has told me a rule about the world, and that turns out to not be true, I hate it.
I mean, unreliable narrator can be done very well, but that shouldn't come down to the very rules that hold the fabric of reality together.
To me, so did you play Tears of the Kingdom at all?
No.
Do you plan to?
No, I don't play any Nintendo games. I will never give them money.
Can I talk about it?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. In the story, there is this entire process where you can become a dragon. They very deliberately have a cutscene where they're talking about this, and they very, very deliberately say, this is irreversible. And by the end of the game, they reverse it twice.
They reverse, of course they do. I think a good example of an unreliable narrator is someone like Varric in the Dragon Age games, right?
Yeah.
Like him coming in and being like, oh yeah, also I was there and I'm like the coolest motherfucker. That's a cool way of having an unreliable narrator. But
yeah.
Varric wouldn't lie about, oh, this is how magic works.
He would just rely about how cool he was.
Yeah.
I think it's like, it's one of those things, right? Like in the cutscene, it's somebody who expresses what they believe to be of the universe, but they make sure deliberately to tell the player. And if you do it in that way, to show the player that this person is saying that directly to the other person in the cutscene, you're just telling the player this information. That is the narrator telling the player, this is how this works. And then to later go back on that and be like, well, it was an unreliable narrator. No, you just lied to me. That's what that is. An unreliable narrator would have the same basic rules of what happened. This is hard to reverse, but then change the method to make them look better, or to maybe they were a victim, so it seems slightly worse than it actually was, because to them it was worse, right?
Yeah.
Not just say something and then do the opposite of that. Like, that's not an unreliable narrator. That's just lying.
Yeah.
That's different. You've now, as a narrator, lost my entire trust for the rest of the story.
Yeah, it's also always a question of why should I trust you after you have repeatedly lied to me?
Yeah, they don't really do that too much in Tears of the Kingdom, but that is, like, it was one of the things that, like, I pointed to and went, wait, they told me deliberately that this was unreversible, and now they're reversing it? Why the fuck do I care anymore? I had already mourned this character as basically being dead for this, and now you're bringing him back. That's just a cop-out. Fuck you.
I do have such an issue with the trope of character dies, character returns for no reason.
Yeah, don't fuck with my emotions that way. I don't mind a character dying, and you can let me mourn that character. I'll even sometimes cry about it. I did in this case.
Hi, Horsefon
But if you bring them back, I'm just betrayed. It's not like, oh, hey, my character's back. It's, oh, I cried for nothing. Good.
Yeah, I don't like, the
that.
thing of this character is definitely irreversibly dead. But also now they're back.
Yeah, just kidding.
I can't even honestly name a single example. I'm like trying to think of an example and I can't name it. I just hate it so much. When they do it.
Pool.
Hmm?
The Lazarus Pool in Batman.
Oh, God, yeah. Basically
That's
anything.
The biggest
DC.
example that,
I
or
think,
anybody in the X-Men.
I honestly think in Infinity War was not a bad offender in that way because it was with so many heroes dying, everybody expected them, and with the stones in the world, everybody was like, okay, they're gonna use the stones to get them back.
I think in that case, it was literally part of the story. We all kind of figured that the good guys win, and if you read the comics, you knew the good guys won. But like to erase half of everybody and then like go and fight that war.
A big difference if you have the solution to the problem already exists prior to creating the problem. So with like the Infinity Stones, it was like, oh yeah, we have the Stones of Power. They can collect those stones, get them back, use them to wish them to snap them back into existence. Yeah. Good story.
And we knew that going into it, right? Like, the stones were all powerful. They were basically a genie's wish. We know they existed. There's only one set, and they got taken away. So now the entire climax of the story will be to go get the stones and get them back.
That would have been Thanos personally strangles every single hero, and then the Infinity Stones are introduced as a get out of jail free card.
That
would have been bad.
It's Mary Sue type writing, right? Like,
I mean, I don't like the term Mary Sue because people are like, yeah, Mary Sue this, Mary Sue that. Anakin could ride a pod racer as the only human at the age of 5, but he's not a Mary Sue. I'm gonna die on this whole Anakin is the biggest Mary Sue.
Oh no, for sure. It's the whole plot device of the entirety of the Star Wars saga is Anakin is a Mary Sue, and they have to find a way to stop that. Literally the point. That's why they become like they're good and they're unstoppable while he's good. He becomes evil. They're unstoppable while he's evil, and so they find a way to fix that. Which is, he has a kid, and kids are the weakness of everybody. God, those little tiny shits.
I feel like one of those bad ass pulls of, oh yeah, but we're bringing the character back anyways was, and I hate to say that, but Harry Potter. Like, I really, really disliked how his death meant nothing.
I agree.
Another one is Superman.
Superman does it too much, but like Superman, I don't even know if Superman can he technically die.
Fucking dies in the whole Batman vs Superman movie, right? And then in Justice League they bring him back by putting him into water and then shocking him with lightning.
Oh yeah, that's the Lazarus Pool.
Yeah, it's literally like, it's so dumb.
That is the Lazarus Pool. It's I hate the Lazarus Pool. That thing, it has ruined a lot of like intense moments in those comics for the sake of being able to write for the characters they killed. That's it. They just wanted to bring the fan base back that was there for the particular villain or the particular character, and it was just like, well, we have a Lazarus Pool, let's do that. It's like, so basically what you've told me is in this universe, death is inconsequential. So now when someone dies, I don't care anymore.
Another one is Rey from the new Star Wars. Like, the sequels have so many issues. They're still decent cinema and entertaining to watch. I do enjoy watching them. We're actually gonna rewatch them over the next 3 weeks in our Discord. We are finishing up our Star Wars marathon. We watched everything from episode 1, including Rogue One and the Solo movie.
Fair. I think
we're getting towards the end, but I really hate the moment where she just randomly dies, and within the same movie, with the most dumbest ass pull ever, a magical kiss, comes fucking back to life. Like, why even put it in there?
I think my biggest problem with Rey is, like, with the
writers were on cocaine and hopped up on ketamine?
With Luke, there's this entire montage of him training with probably one of the best Jedi Masters ever, Yoda. And then he also, so he has all of that training. He has all of the training he did on his own as well. And he leaves early. We all know he leaves early. And he handles himself a little sloppy, but then he goes and fights Anakin. But he had training. He had a lot of training. It was a montage of like 5 minutes of him training. And then Rey gets given a lightsaber.
Character into defense here, because all of that whole training montage should have happened in the second movie, for which the Disney executives, for no good reason, just decided to switch out the director, who decided to rewrite the entire story.
For sure, but
just for the last movie, bring back the original director, who then somehow has to salvage everything the second one fucked up. So Rey's character was specifically murdered by the second executives. He also murdered the Finn is a Jedi plot, by the way.
I mean, the problem is that it ends up being that she had no training. So she picks up this lightsaber, and next thing you know, she's using the Force with a power that can withstand a fucking Sith.
If you watch the first fight, she is not withstanding shit. She's barely keeping herself alive.
She still used the Force really well.
I mean, you can't really
for somebody who has not
that.
trained in the Force. She used it on par to be able to like have a force battle of pulling a lightsaber back and forth.
Yeah, but
with somebody who is trained in the Force.
Honestly, Kainei, it has been shown that you don't need to have training in the Force to subconsciously be able to use it. Anakin has proven that. So
There's a difference between like
that part. I do think that the whole end battle in episode 7 is rushed and shouldn't probably have happened in the way it happened. But everybody calling Rey a Mary Sue just annoys me at this point, because, like, yes, the sequels are badly written, but they're really not as offensive as people make them out to be.
They're a fun watch. I think there's a difference between subtly using the Force without training and doing things like being able to feel the moment when you should fire a missile into a tube of Death Star, and literally using the Force to fight with somebody who is also using the Force when they are trained and you're not. Like that one scene made me go from, yeah, okay, she's struggling and she's trying her best and this is instinct, to what just happened? There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. It'd be like child Anakin pulling a starship out of the sky out of instinct. Like, it wouldn't be fucking
Yeah,
believable.
I mean, they made Anakin do weirder stuff with the Force, so...
Yeah, for sure.
I think the main part is that the sequels would have been a lot better if there wasn't this weird, out-of-nowhere director change in the middle of it, you know?
For sure. No, I definitely get you. And most movies would suffer from that, not just a Star Wars.
There was this whole plot of actually having a Finn go back to the stormtrooper like areas and be like convincing the stormtroopers and starting a stormtrooper rebellion, and him being confirmed to be Force sensitive and be a candidate to be a Jedi, and him specifically going, no, I won't do that, I have to help my fellow stormtroopers first, they are all being brainwashed. And him going back and actually doing that and then starting his training at the end of movie 3. And all of that had to be completely scrapped because the second guy didn't like any of it. Like, if you actually read the ideas that the first director had for the sequel trilogy, it's still no masterpiece, don't get me wrong, but it would have been so much better, so infinitely much better. Probably, like, they really did John Boyega so dirty by cutting his role down to basically a background character when he was so instrumental in the original draft.
Hell, he probably joined because he was instrumental, and then they cut it, and he was already under contract, so then what do? You kind of suck it up, Buttercup. It's never good. And it's kind of how I feel about Disney in general, right? They always do that shit where, like, somebody will have a really good story, but because it was a black guy that was the main character, they're like, oh, no, we gotta redo this. And it's like, and they do that with not just race, but they do it with religion, they do it with anything. If it's not
what was it about the 13-frame gay kiss in the background of one movie that then made people legitimately like boycott Disney, where I'm like, what is wrong with y'all?
The one that's going around lately that makes me just laugh my ass off is everyone being like, "Oh, X-Men gone woke. Look at Gambit. That's not my Gambit." And I'm like, "Bitch, have you seen Gambit? Go back to fucking 1997,
Yeah, I was about to say,
the original rambit of Gambit, and look at his crop top ass shirt with his fingerless gloves and his weird mohawk haircut. That Gambit has always been like ambiguous as fuck on gender and sexuality. Go fuck yourself." Not to mention,
you mean Gambit, the most flamboyant bitch in the X-Men. Gambit, who
exactly.
definitely
Not
had
to
sex.
mention,
Gambit, who definitely had sex with Logan and Professor X.
not to mention that all of the X-Men in general, the entire premise is that people are different and the entire world hates them, so they're trying to get rid of them. What does that sound like?
yeah, I fully agree with you, Super Lesbian.
The X-Men have always been a stand-in for oppressed minorities, and the character represent that. Yes, exactly, yeah. You've got Beast the Bear.
You have Gambit the Twink.
Exactly, like they're all there.
What's the one? Nightcrawler is the twink.
Nightcrawler the Twink, yeah.
Logan is
You got
clearly like the old disgruntled gay.
Yeah, yep. Then you've got Storm, the flamboyant.
Storm is just a dick.
She's kind of a bitch, yeah.
Storm,
Then you got,
I really laughed at one scene where it was like, oh, they can cure us, and Rogue, or who was the one character who kills everyone they touch? Was that Rogue?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Rogue was like, oh my god, they can cure me, I can have sex, start a family, touch my boyfriend, shake someone's hand without killing them, and then Rogue comes in and is like, oh, there's nothing wrong with us, we don't need to be cured. Yeah, that's nice. Says the woman who controls storms.
Yeah, Storm comes in, it's just like, we don't need to be cured, we're good as we are. It's like, bitch, you literally got out of the genetic lottery being a witch. So of course you think that.
What was it like? What did someone write? We are all perfect as we are, says Johnny 5 Dicks to Jimmy 1 Dick.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We're all perfect as we are. Now please duck, because I'm about to turn left and I don't want to hit you with my 5 dicks.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Magneto did nothing wrong, basically, is what I'm getting at.
I mean, he did many things wrong. I think the main important part about Magneto as a character is that he did indeed do things wrong for the right reasons.
Yeah, sure.
I think it's important that he's an understandable but undeniably evil character.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say, old lady, it's fine.
No, I mean, I do like Magneto. He is one of my favorite characters in all of comics. I just think saying that he did nothing wrong takes away from the character.
I think he was portrayed in a way that was supposed to be a villain, but I think the longer I live my life and see how people are trying to invalidate my existence, the more I think, maybe he was onto something. Because they're going to do it to me if I don't do it.
Magneto was right in his rhetoric. That doesn't give him the right to go out and kill whoever he doesn't like. And Magneto does a fair bit of a lot of murder.
Well, for sure. I don't condone violence or murder or anything like that, but I think...
Oh, I do. I mean, I definitely condone violence. It's just like, maybe pick the targets.
In Minecraft. I think honestly, it's a matter of the longer I wait and watch how the world is reacting to my existence and the violence that I'm being subject to trying to avoid, and my brothers, sisters, and siblings in general are being forced to endure, the longer we have to endure that violence, the more likely violence in return is the answer, because we have no choice. You back an animal into a corner, eventually they're gonna bite your face off.
I don't disagree. What I'm just saying is there's a huge difference between going out and punching a Nazi in the face and going out and punching the next person you see in the face just because they happen to be cis. And Magneto did a lot of, I'm killing random non-mutants because I can.
He did do a lot of that. I think he was driven to the point of, I've given them so many chances and I keep getting burned. It's not the correct stance to take, right? Obviously, you don't.
Magneto has so many powerful moments. I love him.
Yeah, you don't purge the herd because one sheep didn't produce wool, right? But
Yeah.
like, you still hold resentment for that. And he was also canonically like a Holocaust survivor, so like he'd already been through the terribles of humanity. So it was coupled on top of a lot of trauma and PTSD too. So I
really
get where he's
laughed at
coming from.
one
He
scene.
definitely shouldn't murder me.
I love that one scene in the movies that is so fucking acting gold, where one of the newer mutant generation comes up to him and is like, "Oh, you're proud to be a mutant? Where's your mutant mark?" and points at
Yes.
her tattoo. And he just pulls up his sleeve, shows his Auschwitz tattoo, and just goes, "I have been marked once. No needle will ever touch my skin again."
Yes.
And it's
yes.
so powerful and
That's
so
very
well
powerful.
done, and both of the actors do such a great job in that scene, and it's so good. And that is the Magneto I love, you know?
Yes, I agree entirely. I know exactly the scene you're talking about, and it's so solemn at that exact moment. He's just like, no needle will ever touch my skin again. And everyone's just like, you know what, that's fair. Yeah.
That was a moment where you could tell, like, I saw that in the cinema in Germany, right? The entire
Yeah.
cinema for 1 second just went completely silent.
Yeah.
They did like a deliberate pause after that sentence, and
Because it was supposed to have that kind of impact, right? What do you
and
say
could,
after that?
You suddenly set an entire silence in Germany in the cinema. It was so powerful.
Yeah, I imagine it was. I know a lot of the people over there take that very seriously in general anyway,
Yeah.
because so many of them didn't want all of that, right? And so now to like know and
Yes,
then have
and-
references to it are just like, man, that was...
And no matter how much the Germans didn't want what our country did during the Second World War, there is no way to deny the fact that being complicit in something,
Yeah.
especially when you're the majority, is an undeniable evil thing.
It's kind of what's starting to happen in America, though. I hope I hope we're pulling it around. We got elections coming up.
It's
But,
basically
like-
the same with Gen X. Like, I
Yeah.
had to explain to my mother last week or 2 weeks ago that nobody is blaming her for everything that went wrong with Gen X. Nobody is blaming her in particular for the fact that they let the boomers do whatever they wanted. But
However.
the complicity of Generation X in bringing the world to the state where it is right now, and the profit they had out of it, and the luxuries they got out of it, very much means that our generation and the following generations even more have a right to criticize them.
Yeah.
And also blame
Yeah,
them.
for sure.
Like I had to literally explain to my mom, like, Mom, it's not, nobody's coming to you and says, you living in that house with that name doing that job, you're the problem. The problem is your generation.
Yeah, the problem is, when all of this was working for your benefit, you didn't question who was paying for it in the end, and the answer was your children and your children's children. But it's really, I think a lot of the time, and it might have even been true for Germany, but I don't know. Where in the moment when things are happening, it's not always as easy as it seems from a hindsight perspective to completely understand what's happening and also to know what to do in that situation. Like right now,
What heroes that stood up? We still remember
Yeah.
them nowadays.
that's fair.
If one
I
person
think-
can stand up, why can the rest of society not stand up with them?
Cowardice.
Yeah, and I
lot of it
don't
is cowardice.
excuse cowardice.
I mean,
I mean, one thing I will always insist on is that no country in this world did as much damage to our planet as Germany did. However, no country in this world did as much good for the planet as Germany did. Without Germany, there wouldn't be a Europe. Without Germany, there wouldn't have been a Schengen situation. Germany made sure that this continent didn't know war for 100 years flat.
Yeah.
Until Putin came and fucking ruined it.
Well, that's true. Boomers.
Yeah. Putin isn't even a boomer, he's just a dickhead.
I think he's also a boomer, isn't he?
Isn't he Gen X? He's not that
He's-
old. I mean, yes, he's old, but
pretty
not that old.
I think he's like 80, 70, somewhere like there.
He's 71. He was born in 52, so yeah, fuck it, he's a boomer.
Yeah.
God damn it. Fucking boomers.
It's the boomers, yeah. The lead paint stare. Oh my god, the lead paint stare. Do you know what the lead paint stare is?
That one doesn't affect us as much because
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. But the boomers,
way more in America.
The boomers, and honestly, here in like 10 years, probably the Gen X as well. But oh my god, the lead paint stare. That is, if you don't know what the lead paint stare is, it's when you're talking to an old person, and then they just seemingly blank out and just stare at you with an angry look, like if they're just disappointed, and then eventually they start having a conversation as if whatever you were saying when they were staring at you didn't happen. It's because they didn't exist during that time. Their brain turned off basically, and the lead poisoning seeped into their spinal cord and their cortex and just like turned off their brain for like 10 minutes, and then they continue to argue their point as if whatever the hell you were arguing wasn't said because they didn't hear what you said. And if you try to say it again, their brain will just turn off again. You can't stop it. It's basically a chemical poisoning version of dementia. It's fucking terrible. And beautiful. So many of them are doing it.
I'm glad that lead wasn't used as much in Germany. It was still used in Germany, and it's a problem. And it's a conversation that boomers and Gen X's are not willing to have.
They're not willing to have that conversation. The biggest culprit really is gas.
Water.
Leaded gas was the biggest problem because everything ran on it, and it pumped that lead straight into the air, and everyone that was around during that, that was around in those countries breathed that in every day. Just every breath they took was lead.
It's honestly really, really, really fucking scary. And I think our generation has to learn from that because we need to have that conversation in like 10, 15 years about what microplastics did to us.
Oh yeah, no, they tried to do a study to find out the effects of microplastics on the body, and they had to cancel it because no matter how many people they searched, they could not find a control group. That's insane.
Yeah.
That they can't find a control group to identify the effects of microplastics on the body because everyone has too many microplastics in their body.
And that's the worst part. We don't even know how much is too many.
Right? But any amount for a control is too many, right? So like everyone has you, me,
even like in Africa and in like poor countries where you would be like, oh, they don't use that many plastics. No, nope.
Yep, it's in the water. It's in the air. You grow your vegetables in dirt. Well, it's in the dirt. So now your vegetables also, all the animals, all the vegetables, all the plant, everything. This whole planet is infected with microplastics. They are finding ways to like slowly be able to remove microplastics. Apparently, if you have hard water with like high mineral deposits, if you boil that water and then filter it, like just strain it, apparently the microplastics will stick to the hard water deposits and they'll cancel each other out if you boil them, and it helps purify up to like 80% of the microplastics, but still you're still getting 20% of them. It depends on how hard your water is.
But I really think it's a conversation that needs to happen in our generation's time. It's also a conversation that needs to happen with the boomers about lead did do damage to the boomers and to Gen X, and they shouldn't be in a governmental position when they're 60 because the accumulated damage starts to make them literally go stupid. That's not us saying... I think the main problem is that everybody feels automatically insulted and attacked when you say something like that. But it's not an attack to say, hey, there is medical reasons why you are not able to hold this office anymore. You're too old. There is brain damage because of lead poisoning. There is reasons for that. That's not hate. That's not generational hatred. That's a medical fact.
And it's when we get that old, we're going to look at it and probably also have brain damage because that's how aging works. Your body deteriorates over time. And if your skin is sagging off your face because you're old, which will happen to everybody, what is your brain doing? The same thing. You think your brain is as good as it was when you were 20 as when you're 60? No, Same thing as your face
She's
and
like,
your ass
I'm
and any other
30,
organ you have.
Like I'm in my 30s, right? And I noticed that my brain function is slowing down. I cannot imagine how someone who is 60 or 80 would slow down in comparison.
It's because I think it slows down to the point where even things like emotional sensitivity dullens, and they don't care anymore. They just don't give a shit. And I hope I never get to that point, because I find that I'm a very empathetic person.
Yeah, don't get me
As an
started on
empath-
that super lesbian. Oh no.
As an empath, no. But
God,
like,
no, Kainei, don't go there. I can't follow you if you go down that path.
as an empath, I feel like
So anyway, I'm muting her right now, so you guys don't have to hear this. As a person who's an empath,
I totally understand the plight of dogs.
I think what Super Lesbian said is very, very important. It's like, very often they are telling us that the public has to somehow save water and use less plastics and use more public transport and stuff like that. When 99%, it's around 85% of actual global warming and pollution in the world comes from industries. Like it's companies like Shell that burn tons of oil, that dig and contaminate huge swaths of the ocean for profit. It's the fact that we are taking, and this is like the most insane thing. I actually followed this up because like I was like, why the fuck do these German cucumbers have a package that is stamped with made in China? So I looked it up. What they legitimately do is they take the cucumbers, fly them to the other end of the world to wash them. Like these are German cucumbers, okay? Fly them to the other end of the world, to China, to wash them. They wash them in Thailand, package them in China, and then fly them back to Germany to sell them here. And I'm like, why the fuck are we doing this? Can we not wash and package it here? No, it's because labor is so much cheaper over there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
at the
it's,
same time, don't forget, we are getting told we have to save that 1 cup of water a day by using like less water when showering, or by
make sure to turn off the faucet when you're brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem I have is literally they always try to shift the blame of global warming onto us, right? Make sure you separate your recycling. Make sure you take off the labels of your plastics and put it in the right bin. Make sure you blah 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 blah.
Don't use
None of that
plastic
fucking matters.
straws.
None of that fucking matters. What you and I are doing as people does not matter in the global scheme of global warming. What does matter is the hundreds of billions and maybe even trillions of tons of pollution that they pump directly into the atmosphere from those giant factory smokestacks all around the world. Those are causing the global warming.
And
not
then
us,
they
not
have
me, not
the
you. Nothing you can do can cause that.
audacity to tell us it's our fault. And what's
it's
even
the
more
blame
insane
game.
is if they realize, we enact like we enact like environmental protection programs. So they look at the feasibility of production, and they realize, hey, we can just take our production, move it to China, or Thailand, or Taiwan. Fuck, I said Taiwan, now I'm banned from China forever. Anyway, we're just gonna move it to some other country, gonna produce it there for 1/10 of the price, and just pump a ton of like disgusting stuff into the atmosphere because they have no protections at all. So sometimes us enacting protections for environment actually hurts the environment because they will just go and produce it somewhere else where there's no protections at all.
The most harmful policy the EPA ever released was the carbon debt policy, where you could pump only a certain amount of carbon into the atmosphere, and if you wanted to pump more, you had to reduce your carbon debt. And how to do that? You planted trees and shit. That doesn't fucking help. Planting trees is not going to remove the amount of pollution you're pumping into the air, but according to the EPA, you can double the amount of carbon you can pump by just planting more trees. that's not gonna fix it. Because then what? In 2 years, they're gonna chop those trees down and sell them for wood anyway, and then pump more chemicals into the atmosphere from having planted the trees and now selling it as paper.
The most frustrating part about it all is that we're looking down the barrel of making our planet legitimately uninhabitable in the next 40 years. That is in our lifetime. We're probably going to experience the end of the world, and there is no going back at this point.
We
could.
What
really pisses me off. Anytime you ask them to change something, to make a difference,
we can't afford it.
If I have to hear the words "but the economy" one more time, I swear to God, I'm gonna start shooting people.
The funny part is the way that people always refer to it as the end of the world. I can assure you, me, and everyone that the world,
the end of
it will
our
be fine.
World.
The end of humanity, that's true. We will make this planet so uninhabitable that we can't live on it, but the world will recover. It has been through worse than us. The dinosaurs that once existed got hit by a meteor so intense that it burned most of them and then froze the rest of them. We won't exist, but the planet will be fine and life will return. Just
probably
without us.
Not, hopefully not intelligent life. Because I wouldn't wish humanity on my worst enemy, and I definitely don't wish it onto the Earth twice.
Yeah, that's fair. The only chance of survival we have as a species is if the mothership that supposedly is out there. Yes, this is a real report. Our American intelligence agency has released to the public recently. If the mothership that's apparently out there and observing us comes down and kills all of our world leaders and takes over for us, because that's the only way it's going to happen. Yes, they told us there's a mothership that's probably out there watching us with probes. That's how much they're trying to distract us right now. It's insane, right? I think I killed you. Are you dead?
I'm just exhausted.
It's so... They would rather admit and tell you that aliens are there than admit that there's a problem going on. It's so crazy.
I just hope that the boomers die soon enough that we can somehow take the wheel and just pull it around 180 degrees and somehow save ourselves, but
I will say this.
No hope anymore, honestly.
Most of the boomers in our government are 80 or 90 years old. I can tell you, at most, they will live another 10 years. The oldest man in the world died the other day. He was 115 years old. That was the oldest man in the world. They are very fucking close to that age. They will start dropping like flies at some point, and then we can finally go, all right, there. Now they're gone.
In the hopes that Gen X isn't even worse than them. Because they are some self-righteous bitch cunts in their own right. Sometimes. A lot of them are better than a lot of the boomers, though. You gotta admit. The boomers, for whatever reason... That's not really a big hurdle to clear, let's be real.
It's not, but even like 5% better would be so much better than where we are right now, where they're just basically, that we would probably die slower if they invented a giant rocket and pointed it so that we are hurtling into the sun. We would probably be better off.
Boomers are old as 78. No, the boomers are way older than that.
They might not be boomers if they're older than that, but I can tell you that like a lot of the Senate in America are like 80 or 90. I think Mitch McConnell is like 89, some shit like that.
Yeah. Bonjour.
Like they're old. They won't give up. They don't stop. Baby boomer was after 45. What was before that? What did they call themselves? The best generation?
The greatest generation.
Yeah, that one. That one.
Or weren't they called the silent generation? I'm not sure which one it was.
I don't know. There's a bunch of them.
I'm not sure if it was the boomers or the silent generation.
I don't know. Either way. They're there. They're old. Basically,
the silent
boomers
generation.
And the autonomous.
So the greatest generation was 1901 to 1927, because they fought in the Second World War. Then the silent generation was born between 28 and 45, And then came the boomer generation, anyone born between 46 and 64. Gen X between 65 and 80, and millennials were born from 81 to 96.
Yeah, I'm 86.
We're actually starting
years
a new generation soon, because Gen Alpha goes from 2013 to 2025. So I wonder what the next one is gonna be called.
Extinct.
Omega. Yeah, probably the last generation.
Unfortunately. Depends on how things work out. I know. I'll see y'all at the end of the cup of coffee. That's what I know. It's funny because there was an earthquake in New York the other day, and what most people's retelling of how they experienced that earthquake is they thought like bombs were dropping or something, and what did they do? A lot of them just like smoked a bowl, or was just like, yeah, okay. That's this, and they thought it was like the end of the world because the last time a fucking earthquake happened in New York was like during World War II.
I just like the idea that bombs are falling and everybody just accepts it.
Yep, they're just like, yeah, okay.
So in line with us as humans.
It's just we're watching the world fall apart, and anybody who has any amount of power to stop it doesn't, and so we're just like, it's gonna happen. Like most of my generation and later are just prepared for World War III to happen and be like, yeah, okay.
I just noticed something. You remember how I said earlier that I have 1,900 followers on the dot?
Yeah.
I lost one during the stream. We're back to 1,899.
You know what? It's probably because boomers suck. If you're a boomer and you're following...
Oh, that was already way earlier. That was like an hour ago.
Yeah, that's fair. It's probably because I'm gonna be honest. My view count fluctuates a lot because people click follow and then I'll speak and they'll leave because I don't have a feminine voice. I had someone yesterday literally try to be just an asshole. I banned him immediately and didn't give him any attention. But they were just like,
"But your voice is so cute, though."
My voice is soothing and natural, and this is just my natural voice. I do also have a bit of a voice-trained voice, and I use it sometimes. I just don't always want to, so I don't. If I'm comfortable and I'm having a good time, I just drop it back down to where it sits normally. And some people have a problem. Occasionally I'll get people and they'll be like, I did not expect that voice with that cute face. And it's like, well, that seems like a you problem.
Hey, Corex, you remember the one dude who came in and was like, why are you gay? No, what did he say? Why are you woman?
Why are you woman?
Why are you woman? It was so fucking fun. And I was like, yeah, I'm trans. And he's like, yeah, but why are you woman? I just am. And he's like, yeah, but why are you woman?
Yeah, they're not very
smart.
They're dumb. Yeah, they're not creative at all. Like, honestly, I don't
think he was trying to be transphobic. That's the thing. I think he was just really genuinely confused.
Yeah, that's fair. I think, I usually, depending on how rude the initial question is, I usually give people the benefit of the doubt. I know it's not every trans person's job, but I take it kind of up as my job to just, like, inform the ignorant if they're willing to learn. A lot of us really kind of just don't want to deal with that anymore, and I totally respect that. You're valid. It gets tiring to answer the question, when did you learn you were trans, for the 9,000th time? Always. The answer is always, always. We knew the whole time, we just didn't admit it, okay? But every once in a while you just get someone being transphobic and they're never creative about it. Like, I wish they would be creative about it because I would give them the attention. If they're gonna be creative in some way about it, I'll give them the attention. And like, I guarantee I'm more witty than them. I'm certainly more traumatized. That's how you get to be funny. You want to be more funny? Go get more traumatized. I don't know. I wish I had the kind of privilege to sit around worrying about what other people were doing with their dresser. Right? Like, yeah, that's where I keep all my clothes. Most of the problem people have is me dressing like a woman. That seems to be the biggest contention.
Was the tits?
No, they like those. They just won't admit it.
I too like tits. Tits are great.
Tame.
You ever just sit there grabbing your own boob like nice?
Yes.
Sometimes
It's
just
the-
sitting
so-
grabbing my own moves and I just sit there like.
So
nice.
there's particularly a scene in one of the Kill Bill movies where the main character is standing in the mirror after she finds out she's pregnant, and she's just like touching her tummy, and then she like grabs her boobs, and she's just looking at herself touching her boobs in the mirror, just like examining her body. And I will do that and then immediately think back of that and go, that's a woman thing.
It is. It is. Eris keeps slamming her boobs.
She's stupid. Listen, it's really easy when you're not used to having them to like walk through a door because neurodivergent. We do the
we
like
don't
sway
open
walk.
the door all the way.
Right?
We don't
Yeah.
open the door all the way, so we go from the door and I can squeeze through that. Newsflash, asshole, you have tits now. Bam.
Yeah. Or we just don't walk through the center, right? We do that thing where we swerve around the furniture and around the walls and shit, and occasionally you bump your shoulder, but
Can you do me a
every
favor
once in
and
a while.
stop calling me out here?
Every once in a while, you'll try to like sneak through the door jam and just get it a little too close and then bat right in the tit. And it's just like, God damn it.
I can tell you from experience it's even worse when you have a nipple piercing and you're like, oh cool, I don't have boob growth anymore, but now I get stuck on my nipple piercing when I hit my hip, when I hit my boob somewhere.
Kainei with the racing line. Listen, it's efficient. I don't want to spend all day walking through my house when I could just take the corner tighter.
Yeah, exactly. It's faster. It's the
By, like,
real
point.
life any percent speed run.
Lunchtime, I gotta get out there and get my lunch now. Actually, it's probably the case I need to go out there and get my lunch now, because if when I'm hungry I don't go get my lunch, I'm either A, gonna forget, or B, fall over because I didn't eat all day.
Talking about getting lunch.
My lunchtime isn't for like another hour.
Okay, so we don't have to hurry. I mean,
Yeah, I tend to take a break at 11 and then at 1. I stream.
I just
6
don't want to
hours a
hold you
day.
all day, you know? I do very
Yeah,
much
all day?
enjoy hanging out with you, but I don't want to hold you all day.
Yeah, it's fair. We can end whenever you're ready. I'm
I'm not saying I want to get rid of you. Stay with me, Kainei. No, it's just like in another half an hour or so.
Yeah, that's fair. That's about right.
Because I have to make dinero and then look at getting ready for D&D. Actually, it's Pathfinder.
It's not very often that I just willingly, almost mindlessly agree to join somebody else on their stream. And
Yes? You were saying? Use your brain. Keep talking. Let me just randomly stretch here really quickly.
I
Oh, my back.
pancakes.
Yeah, pancakes sound good.
What was I talking about?
Pancakes. Is apparently what you want to fry on my abs.
Sure. Not my face. What? No.
Kainei's doing good, guys.
I'm fine.
Kainei is fine.
Yeah, you're one of the few people that are like, hey, you want to come on do a stream? I'm just like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I trust you with my content. I trust you with my face.
Aww.
Yeah. You and I
The
have known each other.
nicest thing people have
basically-
said to me all year.
I think you and I have known each other basically almost the whole time I've been a content creator.
Yeah.
It wasn't
relatively
like
early
from-
into my
Yeah,
streaming
it wasn't
career.
like at the very, very beginning, but it was pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only content creator who's known me longer than you is Oni Channel.
I mean,
They found me like day 4. Like,
I started streaming and I rated you, I think, like half a year into my streaming journeys, like 2.5 years ago. A little bit more than that, 3 years ago at this point.
we started about the same time then, because I've been streaming just over 3 years.
Yeah, I'm at 3 years and 5 months now, so it must have been very
Yeah.
early into your
Yeah,
career.
you were like 2 months before me.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, so you found me like 3 months after I started then,
Mhm.
if that's the case, which is about right. Yeah, because I was still using my other model, I think.
Yeah, you were still using your Viroid model.
Yeah, And it was like two or 3 months after that I got.
And
my,
I was still using
this
the
I remember it.
first model.
It wasn't
Just,
that bad.
which one of these many is it?
Just don't show the naked
Oh
one.
god. This is the bimbo version. Where's the original version?
Oh yeah, the
This
bimbo
one.
version. Oh god.
This one was the one I was still using back then with a lot of personality.
It's got a lot of personality for sure.
Yeah. Let's go back to the actual one. Here we go. Yeah.
You put Kainei's head on that one? That's fair. You have a lot of meshes on that model. Oh my god. Every time you load that model, my my V2 Studio
Sorry.
goes, hey, there's a mesh problem here. Do you want to fix it? I'm like, it's not my problem. I don't give a shit.
Actually, it's not a mesh problem. There's just a ton of meshes.
Yeah. So like with your mesh and my meshes combined, there's too many for VTube Studio to like. It's like, hey, do you want me to lower the amount from like 6,000 to like 512? I'm like, no, I don't want you to do that.
Nah.
I want you to load all the damn meshes. I got 64 gigabytes of DDR5. You can handle it. Load that shit up.
I really wish I could manually put myself into the background in VTube Studio in Collabs. It's so annoying that you cannot do it.
I agree. I think there should be like a right-click layering option, like with
Yeah,
crop.
or even just to me like press down the mouse wheel and put me into the back.
Yeah. Whoever you've clicked last will be on top, you know? Like, then you could order it that way.
You have to click, because otherwise you will have to deal with the tail slapping you in the titty. The silky milkies.
Yeah, it's not all bad.
Bottom.
Listen.
I'm listening. Kainei the
girl.
forever bottom?
I was tempted to open the soundboard in Discord and do the cricket chirping.
Let me just
Sounds like dinner's ready.
You wanna leave me now?
No, the crickets. I'm a spider.
You see, every time I open the soundboard, I'm confronted with the fact that Dre does have a lot of sound clips on his server, and one of them literally is just in fat, all caps, penis hurt.
Penis hurt.
So every time I click that fucking soundboard button, I get flashbanged with the words penis hurt.
Oh shit, that's good. For me,
I'm doing fine, thank you for asking.
the one I get flashbanged with is one of the servers I'm in has I don't know what, I can't remember what it is. I'm not going to click it because I doubt it's safe for work. But it all caps, all it says is just shoved up, and I'm just like, I want to click it. But
There's a preview. If you go to the left of the box, there's a little speaker icon. That's the preview. If you click directly on the speaker icon.
I don't have that on here, so I'm gonna let you in on a secret. I use modded Discord. Specifically for one feature, I can pin DMs.
Oh my god.
So I can keep people that like I want to keep, because I receive a lot of DMs from a lot of people sometimes, and most of them I don't want to talk to. So I just keep. You're not one of those people that I don't want to talk to, but I do keep like my girlfriend and like people like that pinned to the top of my DMs, so that if I ever need to talk to them in an emergency, it's right there. I don't have to worry about it.
Man, I wish I had a girlfriend.
Mine's currently in the hospital, and I
Oh
miss
no,
her.
is she doing fine?
She's okay. She's okay. She just needs to be there mostly for monitoring more than anything. But yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, I just miss her because I usually, her and I spend a lot of time together. I wake up, say good morning, and spend time in a call with her. Then I go to stream, and then when I'm done, I join call again. And I'm just like, hey,
You're
and
like
then
long
she
distance,
usually leaves.
aren't you?
She's 2 hours away. Which,
Yeah.
yes, I guess so. For America, that's not very bad. For Europe, that's terrible. Yeah. So yeah, she shows up when we hang out like on weekends and stuff sometimes, but
Yeah, I'm done with the whole long distance thing. There's quite a few people who would be interested in doing a long distance relationship with me, but I'm just not doing it anymore. I'm too old for that.
I definitely understand. Her and I have already like spoken about like moving in together and stuff, so like it won't be long distance forever.
When?
When are we moving in? I don't know.
I have to get you like a housewarming gift.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
I can tell you the only housewarming gift I need is cash.
So all I'm hearing is I'm gonna gift you like a whole like kitchen set so you can like actually cook shit.
Okay, well I'm moving in with her. She has an apartment already, so.
The one thing I noticed that I was lacking sorely when I moved into my new apartment and then we actually had an actual kitchen was like, I had no pots, I had no cooking utensils, I had no knife block, I had nothing to put my utensils in. Because like for the longest time, all I had was a singular fucking pot and one wooden spoon and I would cook with that.
Yeah, that's fair. I think the, because I've spent like weeks at a time at her house before, because my job is very mobile. As long as I have my computer and an internet connection, I can do this. So I just brought my computer over there and I stayed there for like a week twice now, I think. The only thing I had to buy that she didn't have is a coffee pot, because she doesn't drink coffee.
I said it before, I'm the gross person that drinks instant coffee for a very simple reason. There is exactly one type of coffee I like. Or if I had to choose which coffee I want to drink, it's espresso.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fair.
99% of espresso cans do not work on an induction stove. Yep. And I just don't want to afford one of the expensive ones.
Yeah, for sure. I would love
anything that
to have a
isn't
proper espresso
espresso
machine.
To me is dirty water. So it doesn't matter if I drink filter coffee or if I drink fucking instant coffee. Just flat out doesn't matter. So I drink instant coffee.
So for me, I've actually been since American taxes hit me pretty hard this year. I've been kind of on the back foot when it comes to my finances. So I've been drinking fucking pre-ground gross coffee for this whole month so far. But usually what I do is I buy beans and I grind them myself and I filter them myself and I make the coffee my way. Also, I don't trust pre-ground coffee. Here's a fun fact about coffee that is an actual fact. Did you know that if you do research on cockroaches, that over time you become allergic to cockroaches? Like they just have a chemical in them that makes you allergic to them if you do it for too long of a time.
Okay, yeah.
And the scientists who do this research and get allergic to cockroaches also get allergic to pre-ground coffee at the same time. What does that tell you about pre-ground coffee?
It doesn't necessarily mean that there is part of
It does. Causation isn't correlation, for sure. But
I would say it's actually quite the opposite, because it makes me think about the fact that coffee is brewed at 100 degrees, which would kill off anything.
Oh, for sure. For
Meaning
sure. Absolutely right.
Physically, it cannot be the fact that there's maggots and cockroaches in the coffee grounds. What it tells me more is that by brewing coffee the way we brew pre-ground coffee, it releases a sort of enzyme that also causes the allergen flare-ups.
So the problem actually is it's an allergy directly to when you open the bag of pre-ground coffee and there's the allergy. It's more how the companies that make pre-ground coffee store their pre-ground coffee, which is basically kind of the same way we store corn. It's in big fucking piles in a silo somewhere, and then a machine empties it out of these silos into the bags, and then they sell that. In those silos, anything can be in there, including and not limited to cockroaches and rats. Typically, the rats are filtered out, they're big enough, but cockroaches, they're brown and small. They tend not to notice, they get ground up with the coffee or whatever. And while it's not a lot, it's not like you're drinking 50% roaches. It's the same thing with anything where there is an amount of acceptable roach in your pre-ground coffee that is allowed to be sold. And if I get a coffee bean bag myself and grind it myself, I can definitely tell if there's a cockroach in there before I grind it. So I just feel better about it. Not to mention, if you grind your coffee yourself, it does just taste better.
I mean, that will not deny.
Way better.
What I do is, when I still had an oven which my mocha pot or my espresso pot would work on, I would go to Italy once a year and on like vacation and shit, or anytime I had a chance to go to Italy, I would just buy 2 or 3 packs of really good espresso.
Yeah.
I would go to in Palermo. There's this little coffee roastery. I don't know if they still exist, but 5 years ago they still existed. So I went there and I had them grind me not 1, not 2, not 4, but 5 packs of espresso, and I took it with me in the fucking plane. And they were like opening my plane. It's like, what's this powder? I'm like, it's coffee. Why are you buying 5 packs of coffee? And I'm like, because the coffee in Germany is absolutely god awful. And they had a fucking laughing fit at the Italian airport. They're just like,
that's really funny. They're probably like, right. Yeah, you know what? That's fair. Yeah,
you
like, coffee.
Actually, you're not allowed to have that much coffee, but we're just gonna ignore it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. That's so good.
Because I had it in my hand pack and like my carry-on, because it didn't fit into the rest of my box.
I'm sure for the X-ray and shit, a block of coffee like that just looks like fucking C4 or something.
It looked like he said it looked like pack cocaine.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Hi, Falker. So on the X-rays, they thought I was just casually strolling through the X-ray control with 5 packs of cocaine. No, it was just espresso powder.
Why do you have 5 pounds of cocaine? It's coffee.
It's espresso. It's ground espresso.
A lot of people like kind of rag on Americans for not being well traveled, to which I have to say we are through necessity, because if you've seen the size of America, just going next to the next town is basically 4 countries in Europe.
Yeah.
But also, I really am envious that you guys can, a lot of the times, just drive for 45 minutes and go to like
it's not
Italy.
That easy. It's really not 45 minutes. It's multiple hours.
Well, you could drive a couple hours and go to a different country.
One thing
and
you got to
experience a different
understand
culture.
Germany's, or generally European cars, are not built for long road travels, so they are not as comfortable as American cars. So while driving for 4 hours in an American car is chill and fine, driving for 4 hours in a German car is fucking hell.
That's fair.
That's something Americans need to understand. It's so unenjoyable long term.
That is fair. I think the biggest thing that like is culture shock for a lot of Europeans compared to Americans when we try to talk about it is most of us don't have a passport. We don't need one.
Don't worry. I've said this before on stream. The real culture shock that you get as a European coming to America, at least for me, was how normalized suffering is in America.
Oh, I bet.
Just the casual, I can't afford to go to the hospital. I've been having this cough for 4 weeks, but I can't see a doctor because that's too expensive. And you're just sitting there as a European, you're just flabbergasted. Like, I saw, when I was down in Seattle, I visited my ex-girlfriend, right? And I said this before on stream, I'm just gladly gonna say it again. Her friend broke her leg. And instead of calling an ambulance, she called us to come pick her up and drive her to the hospital.
It's because an ambulance is like $30,000.
America is
fucking
scary.
Expensive. No, so I actually had to go see a doctor just recently for an injury that I had. Guess when I got the injury? December. I went to the doctor's last week. Because it's expensive. You can't just go whenever you need. You have to go when you can't take care of it. We all basically know first aid to a level of being able to mend and stitch ourselves. Not because we want to, but because if you go get stitches at the hospital, they'll send you a bill for $5,000.
I talked to Coffee a few days ago, and she told me that she had to pay taxes and was short on money. So, but don't worry, she's fine. She's just gonna cancel her doctor appointment next week, so then she will be able to get around it. I'm like,
Yep, legitimately. Fortunately for me, I'm in a program where I get a lot of medical stuff covered.
It's just so insane. Here in Germany, when I feel a slight cough and I don't feel comfortable, I can go to the doctor at any given time for fucking free. Because my insurance pays for all of that.
I get a lot of my medical stuff taken care of. Even my HRT is actually taken care of for free because of
yeah, same over here. I pay $15 every 3 months, actually $20 every 3 months for my HRT. And that's only because for every medication you have to pay around $5 in recipe fee.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't technically I don't have to pay anything. I'm on American Medicaid, which, you know, takes care of basically everything I want. It does mean I have to go through them sometimes and like argue things because okay, they try to deny me some dentistry at one point. I'm just like, you understand what dentistry is, right? Like, are you a dentist? Do you have a dentist on file? Are they denying me, or are you doing it because you don't want to pay it? And usually they'll give up and just pay
it's free for me because I don't pay taxes there, Olivia. I am literally disabled.
Because I'm in that program, that means I have to go with doctors that accept the program, and it also means that everyone else does too, and usually there's a wait time. To get an appointment with my doctor, a urgent but not emergency appointment with my doctor takes at minimum 3 months. Just to get in there to see her, and that's not to be recommended to specialists or anything like that. That's just to explain the problem.
Your general practitioner?
Yeah, my general practitioner takes 3 months to get into just to explain to her the problem.
You know how it works when I want to see we call them house doctor or general practitioner. You know how that works here in Germany?
Call them?
No, I look at first I check when the office is open, and then I just go in and I sit in the waiting room.
It's because a lot of America's structure in general, oh good, we're going to get into that, is based on making sure that people with poverty or different colored skin, typically brown, don't have access to the support they need. It's the same reason why, and you probably don't know this, the DMV here, which is the Department of Motor Vehicles, or any variation thereof, is exceptionally tedious to go to. And it is not because they are difficult to fund. It's not because it's difficult to find workers. It is because they want to make one every so many miles away from each other so that people who are of a minority have trouble going there. Why? Because that's where you go to get your identification. That's where you go to get your driver's license. But more importantly, that's where you go to register to vote. The doctors that are part of Medicaid programs are also this far apart because they don't want people who don't pay for things to be able to have access to them.
That's a thing
and they
that
want to make
I will never understand. Why
they want to make it a struggle.
Yeah, why the fuck is registering to vote even a thing? You know how it works in Germany?
You're a citizen, you go vote?
No. So before a vote happens, you get, via mail, a letter that says, hey, there is gonna be a vote there and there. Your voting location is there and there. This is your... It's called Wahlschein. It's basically a paper document that tells them this person is eligible to vote. It has your name on it, it has your address on it, and you have to bring your ID. Which, in Germany, by the way, having a personal ID, just an ID, no fucking IDing via like driver's license or shit like that. Your ID is a requirement via law. Every person in Germany needs to have an ID, and at any given time in public needs to be able to ID themselves. So you just always
America
have
has
it on
a little bit different. America has a little bit different than that. You're not required to identify yourself to a police officer unless you're
not required to identify yourself. You need to be able to identify yourself should there be legal grounds for it.
Yeah, you don't have to in America, but it's mostly because an ID costs like $40. Even not a driver's license, which costs like $60. An ID to just identify yourself. You have to present both your social security card and your birth certificate and potentially your address on some piece of mail, and then pay them $40 to take your picture and write that down on a piece of plastic.
think
It's
it's like
insane.
15 euros in Germany, and that is specifically only for the legislative act of making it.
Yeah. I like its materials cost for plastic. I understand that shit. But no, they actually charge profit for people getting their ID.
That's the one thing that I don't understand. Why does everything need to be for profit in America?
Capitalism.
Capitalism is fucking horrible.
It sure is. I wish we could stop.
That's the
Late
thing
stage
that
capitalism
I wish
is a nightmare.
people understood is we can stop at any given time.
Yeah.
We can all tomorrow, if we as a humanity tomorrow just all together decide capitalism is over, money is worthless now. We could just do that. The power is with us. The elites only are elites because they have power over us, but we are more than them. We can literally just say, okay, but no, we're not playing along anymore. We can just stop at any given time.
I don't think people realize just how powerful a general strike is. Like, it is the most powerful force in human nature right now.
It's not just a general strike, Kainei. We can literally just tomorrow say, okay, government is over. Was a nice, fun experiment.
I understand. You could even take it a step back to a general strike, and even that, because then what a general strike is, nobody does nothing. You want something, you go to your neighbor, you help them with theirs, and they'll come over and help you with theirs, and you do that until the government does what you need them to do. And if they don't, well, then you make your own government and fuck them.
Oh, look at us.
Which is what we did to England over here in America. I don't know if y'all remember that, but we wrote it down on a piece of paper and threw their fucking tea in the drink. God damn it. I don't know why we decided we don't do kings and then started having kings in the form of billionaires.
I gotta complain about one thing, though.
Mm.
Silly Americans, you don't make tea with salt water.
No.
What kind of fucked up tea party was it? No wonder no one in America drinks tea nowadays.
You know, that's fair, that's fair. It was mostly, we didn't want the tea. Fuck that tea. I say that literally having grabbed an unsweetened peach. An unsweetened peach tea, yeah. That's what I started drinking after the coffee today.
Hi, Graf. How you doing? Look, all I'm saying is, if you like tea, you should follow me because we do tea time every Saturday.
Did you hear that right?
Tea with salt water? You remember the Boston, what was it called? Boston Harbor Tea Party?
Yeah, the Boston Tea Party, yeah.
Yeah, like, typical Americans, they just don't know how to do it, and they make tea with salt water and then complain that it doesn't taste good, and then they write a Bill of Independence. Jesus, like, talk about escalating.
My favorite thing to bug English with is they'll yell that we don't do tea right and etc. And then I'll just show them a can of basically dried and powdered Lipton tea and be like, here you go, here's your tea. And they're just
I hate that. That physically hurts me. I'm a tea person, you know?
And you bring up the fact that most Americans do drink tea, but they drink tea in the form of sweet tea, which is iced and filled with more sugar than tea.
I had southern sweet tea once because my ex-girlfriend was like, you need to try this.
You at least need to try it, but I guarantee it's too sweet for you.
Because here's the thing, I had a normal soda in America, and as you might know, in America, you guys don't use sugar for stuff. You use high fructose corn syrup for everything.
It's
and
so bad.
God, everything that is made in America is so weirdly sweet because of high fructose corn syrup.
I hate high fructose.
And it's apparently in everything in America. I could eat barely anything. I legitimately went to the store and bought fresh fruits and vegetables for the household of my ex-girlfriend because I was like, I'm sorry, I love you, you're great people. I think your cooking is great and I think you're doing a great job, but anything that comes out of a packet here is so sweet, I cannot deal with it. It's too sweet to eat. So I complained about high fructose corn syrup and my ex-girlfriend was like, fuck it, we're gonna go and get you an actual southern sweet tea. And I almost had a fucking diabetes attack. I'm not a diabetic. I was like, oh my god, I think I need to get some insulin in me. It's no wonder half of America is on fucking insulin with the amount of sugar and corn syrup y'all consume.
It's nearly intentional, honestly.
Thank you for the follow, Silverfang, yeah.
It's unfortunately nearly intentional. They very much are trying to placate us like cattle, and give us more sweet things and make sure that we Up until recently, it was bread and circuses. That's what they were doing. They were giving us bread and circuses. And lately, they've been taking away the bread and circuses because our economy is going completely out the window and nobody can afford any food. And they're trying to, like, close TikTok and all the streaming services are separating out and raising the prices. Nobody has any bread, and now nobody has any circuses. And they're going to see really quickly why even the kings of England always had bread and circuses available. I really think we need to take after France and start doing some of their revolutions.
So, completely unrelated, but I actually am pretty decent at woodworking, and I know how to build a guillotine.
Yeah, fair. Same.
In Minecraft.
It's mostly about the making sure the weight balance is correct.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, in Minecraft. Counterweight can be important for...
Can you line up to behead the orange one? I don't know why you want to kill the CEO of Sunny D.
Wow. I thought
In
Kainei was
Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
We would never call for the death of real people.
I
Because that
don't
would be
support nor
wrong.
condone violence or any illegal activities. Please do not don't do crimes.
In
And
Minecraft?
if you do crimes, don't talk about them on the internet in Minecraft.
Yeah, which is exactly why all we're saying is that maybe we do need a revolution that might or might not be bloody in Minecraft.
Yeah. No, I think... did you know that everything that's happening in France right now? Because I'm sure you know about it.
Actually, no,
America-
because they're suppressing it in the news. Isn't that fun?
Same here. They're suppressing it so hard in the news that I guarantee most of you probably don't know. But the farmers of France are revolting so much that they're surrounding the city in tractors and shit and like literally shit, like manure and like piling it up into the politicians' houses because like
So
they won't
here's
listen
the
to
thing.
them.
Technically, yeah, it's good to go onto the streets and complain and stuff, but the things they're complaining about are fucking nonsensical. I'm not gonna open that can of worms here because that would take another hour to explain why all of that is complete bullshit, but trust me when I tell you, complaining about the laws in the EU that the farmers asked for themselves and then they got exactly what they asked for from exactly the parties that were predominantly voted into power by land region voters and countryside voters and farmers. Maybe sometimes when you reap what you sow, you just need to shut the fuck up and take the dick in the ass that you have spent 20 years polishing to a beautiful, beautiful erect form. They are literally suffering from their own decisions. They did this to themselves. They were warned multiple times and they were like, yeah, we know everything better. So, to the farmers in Germany and the farmers in France that are now complaining about how everything happened and the new regulations, you voted for this. It's not our fault that you decided to vote conservative for 40 years straight.
Motivations of protest aside, I still think the method of protest is probably one of the more effective without being actively violent. It's really hard for a politician to continue living in their house and having a good day when it's literally covered in shit.
I think it's kind of ridiculous that the same people who 6 months ago called for executing every climate protester that blocks a street are now, ironically, blocking the street with their fucking tractors.
That is kind of...
I don't know if that is such a... oh, what is this? Oh, my lexicon fell down. L. Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy.
Hippocratic? That's an oath.
Yeah, so it says here definition of a hypocrite is a hypocritical person, which behaving in a way that suggests one has higher standards or more noble beliefs than is the case. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Am I a hypocrite?
I wonder if this has anything to do with the conversation at hand. Honk! Hi, Squishy. No, it's really just I do think that complaining and protesting is important, but the farmers in the European countries have traditionally always voted conservatives, and the laws that they hate on right now were made by conservatives.
For sure.
Because
Well, so
something
here's
that
the thing.
conservatives in Europe like to do a lot is create laws that are very unloved shortly before they know they go out of power because people have had enough of them. So they make laws
And then blame
very
it on the new
shortly,
guy.
and then they make laws in a way that they come into power when the new government, who is mostly leftist at that point, then
They do that
is
here
in
too
power.
for
They do that
presidencies.
in Germany as well, and at least in
You do it all the
European
time.
law, you can't just go back and undo someone else's law. That's not how any of that works. You can't do that. You're physically not allowed to do that. And many people are now complaining to, for example, in Germany, the farmers are complaining to the German current government, which is a very social government, it's a kinda left government. They're complaining about the current laws, and the government can only say, hey, we didn't enact them, we just have to fulfill them because it's in the constitution. We can't just undo them.
Yeah. The presidencies do the same thing over here. A lot of the tax things that happened now because Biden's the president were written into law by Trump and specifically delayed until this. So basically, Trump could have undone this, and he would have if he stayed president, but he wasn't. So Biden couldn't do anything about it. And they do this kind of trap back and forth all the time, and I hate it. It's why I have to pay basically double in taxes this year, which is stupid.
Yeah.
But I think more so it's
Anyway,
important to
cuck
look at
capitalism.
how. Yeah, fuck capitalism. I hate it.
You know, I said cuck capitalism.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, but it's.
Are you a
it's frustrating.
capitalist?
Me?
A capitalist, yeah.
I do capitalize on fapping a lot, yeah. Did I mention I'm single? something League of Legends, something Tryndamere.
Oh,
My
no.
right arm is a lot stronger than my left one.
Oh no. Poor snake.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm just gonna cry myself to sleep.
You should do that.
Anyway, shall we quickly give a shout out to Kainei?
You don't need to do that. Nobody knows who I am. Nobody needs to know who I am. I don't exist.
Uh-huh. Guys, if you
I
do not
was a
follow
figment of your imagination.
my adorable guest today, who is Kainei, the Spooder Patooder from Not Down Under, go and follow her. She's very cute, and she's hella gay. Kainei
I'm
is
very
definitely
gay.
a certified good girl. Anyway, go and follow Kainei. She's adorable. If you enjoyed today's content, please leave a follow. We do this kind of stuff every Saturday. We have a different guest. It's called Teatime with Eris. It happens every Saturday around 3 p.m. German time. So if you're interested in that, definitely leave a follow. Aside from that, you can join our community Discord. We are a community of 6 streamers called the Patisserie Primrose. All pings are opt-in, so you will not get ping spammed. Kainei, please do the same for your going live, because I'm about to fucking strangle you. Anyway.
No.
What do you mean you need to glue your ass to the ceiling?
What the fuck?
Fuck crap.
What the fuck? Hold on.
We will see you guys in the next one. Until then, please take care of yourself. Drink some water, you dehydrated raisins. And as always, be excellent to each other. I'm your Snowy, and I'm gonna go and get graphics down from the ceiling now. Have a nice
Bye.
one. Goodbye.
gosh.
I won.
Why?
I can do the grandma. Let's get the grandma.
Yeah, you can get